Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Mark, why do superheroes always get the bad guys?
I don't know, Derek. Why?
Well, because they're so capable.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is it though?
Who's your daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
Hello, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Three Geeky Dads, the show featuring dads with more toys than their kids and far less maturity. If you can believe that, I am Mark, and with me as always, geeking up your radios, phones, or what have you, are the Byers and Langley to my fro hickey,
Derek.
And Brian.
and as always, joining us to say F you to math and confuse the people with our title, the Fox Mulder to our lone gunman, Tito.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's good.
I gave you the cool one.
That's good.
Do you know how hard that was?
That's
to make
what she
somebody else?
said.
Fox Mulder, Tito.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't do that. For
I
just
feel
anyone.
bad. I didn't know who the other guys were.
Don't talk about it.
I got it when he said fro hickey.
Okay.
Geeks my ass.
That's a good one.
It's a 30-year-old show.
I know. I'm sorry.
It had 1 season, The Lone Gunman. It could have been a contender. All right, everybody, fuck off. Tonight's episode sees us continuing our series of four movies, all number 4, in a franchise, all during the 4th month of May. This week, we'll be talking about the 4th X-Men film, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, the origin story of everyone's favorite bad boy mutant Wolverine and how he came to be the lovable bub he is today. Snicket indeed, folks. But before we sharpen those adamantium claws, light a cigar, and get snicket with it, our own mutant of manicotti mastery, Brian, has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off.
Did you call me
Brian.
Blob?
Give me a scotch, I'm starving.
No, I said bub.
Did you call me Blob?
I said bub. I see what you're doing. Because I watched the movie.
I did too. Tonight, gentlemen, tonight. We will be looking at the 2009 film X-Men Origins Wolverine, a movie that, like its title implies, tells the story of the origin of Wolverine. And that got us to thinking about other, maybe better, superhero origin movies. So, for your consideration, here are some of our favorite picks for favorite superhero origin movies. Take take it away.
All right, well, I'm starting this off, and let me tell you, folks, right off the bat, there's going to be no Batman, because
No Batman.
Batman
How
and
can that be?
Superman, Spider-Man, it all transcends the comic book origin. It's just up there in the universal ether. I don't know what I'm saying, but it sounds cool. It just goes beyond the comic book origin, and you can only see the Pearl so many times and the Spider so many times. I want to talk about other origins that I really love. And my first one is actually going to be the film origin for The Shadow.
Oh.
The Shadow, while a lighthearted movie version of the dark and mysterious vigilante of pop novels and radio shows, does have a great opening in this film, in which a villain is forced to become a hero. Yinko, a.k.a. Lamont Cranston, is sought out by a higher power to use his abilities to cloud men's minds and knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men to aid the forces of law and order, rather than continue his wicked ways as an opium-dealing crime lord. So I really like this. This idea of villain becoming a hero or a reluctant hero is pretty common now, but back in 94 when comic book movies were still new, or this was before shared universes and all, this was a neat idea, I thought, especially for a movie that
And
was...
even way back when it was
Yeah.
on the comic pages.
Right. But this movie was aimed for kids. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
trying to cash in on the whole Batman thing. Batman got incredibly lighthearted. But I find this opening to be pretty dark.
Oh my.
All things considered. And so that's why I'm picking that one.
I always like that movie. I can never get past the fact that he just won't pull the scarf over his fucking nose.
I agree.
It
That's...
drives me nuts.
Let me tell you something, though. If he did, people would complain, because that's how he's always drawn.
Yeah, that big
Somebody would have a
schnoz.
problem. He's known for that
That
schnoz.
bugs me.
Sorry, Tito.
I like that. Penelope Ann Miller. Yeah. That one, right?
And John Lone,
like
Peter
that.
Boyle. It's a
Yeah.
great film.
Oh, yeah. Peter
Yeah.
Boyle's
It's
a
a
cab
fun
driver.
movie. Very underrated.
yeah.
And Alec Baldwin. And we'll just leave it at that.
Before he killed a guy.
Yeah.
That was a woman.
Before he killed a
That
woman.
was just like a general guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Just the same.
Killed a guy. Brick killed a guy.
Brick
What's
killed a
your-
guy.
Hey, Derek, what's your first one?
I too, I part of me wanted to go Batman. There are so many good ones. I mean, you get Jason Todd, even Flashpoint, Batman, and Joker. All have awesome origins. It's one of my favorite things about the Batman comics. But I too am going to go non. So my first one is going to be The Runaways. They're all children of villains.
I like that show.
No previously used villains, but like they're all a group of villains, and it's their kids, and they discover that their parents, are actually corrupt and evil. I dug the show. I was a big. I read the books first.
Was it like three? Did they do like 2 seasons?
I
Maybe?
think
I only saw season 1. I liked it. And
I
then
saw
just kinda
half
fell off.
of season 2. It was one of those kind of like Titans did, where they kind of split it up. And yeah, Elizabeth Hurley ends up showing up as Morgan Le Fay.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good character.
but the
can
books
see
are
that.
really cool too. I really like the books and the story, and I like the characters. So, and it's got a dinosaur. There's a dinosaur.
Got a-
Yeah, that's right.
Lots of
Velociraptor.
dinosaurs.
Yep.
Wrong with the
Old
name.
Lace.
Get a pet
Clever
T-Rex.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clever girl.
Right?
Nice. So I am going the old school route. My first pick is Superman the movie, 1978. This is the first superhero movie that I ever saw in a movie theater, coming out 1 year after Star Wars, and I remember it, and it just held a special place in my heart. Some of it doesn't hold up. It doesn't completely hold up because Oops, sorry, I gotta mute my. Let me just hit the mute button.
That's
All
Richard
right.
Donner from the
Yeah, he's
saying it all holds
Richard.
up,
No,
motherfucker.
Richard Donner's stuff holds up. It's the Richard Lester stuff that doesn't.
No, of course not.
Yeah. But the humans in the story don't react to a superhero in a very realistic way, and the comic relief hasn't aged that well. But as an origin story, Superman still does some amazing stuff, especially when compared to Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. The opening scenes on planet Krypton with Brando's Jor-El, presiding over the fate of Zod and his accomplices as they are banished into the Forbidden Zone, and then warning the people of Krypton that their own impending doom is coming, only to have his words fall on deaf ears, is absolutely amazing and heartbreaking, as he realizes that with very little time left, he can only save his only son by sending him to Earth. And once on Earth, we're introduced to the Kents, who discover little Kal-El's pod and take him in, raise him as their own, knowing full well that their newly, quote-unquote, adopted son is not of this Earth. The first 2 acts of this movie is a masterclass in telling superhero origins. It doesn't rush a thing, and while many people might find that boring, I absolutely love the old-timey 1950s feel of young Clark Kent on his Smallville farm, knowing he can be so much more than he pretends to be, but he has to hold back at the warnings of Pa Kent. And when his father finally dies of a heart attack, young Clark is powerless to save him. It sets him on a path of discovery to find out just who he really is and what his full potential can be. And I revisit this movie from time to time. I most recently rewatched it a couple of months ago on HBO Max, and I only seem to watch this movie like 2/3 of the way through. Once Superman saves Lois from the helicopter crash and then zips around Metropolis, busting criminals and rescuing cats from trees. After that, the movie seems to fall apart for me, maybe because it just, I don't know, the movie just seems to crumble. I love the origin part of this movie.
I'm going to jump in and agree with you. I love the 78 Superman movie, and I love that origin, but I think it's because more so of how it's filmed, the cast, the music, and that
You got John Williams' score.
It's just very biblical.
Yeah.
And,
It really is. Jor-El
so
seems to be
epic.
like spouting stuff from the Bible,
Totally.
like almost verbatim.
Oh, and what great writing in that one.
Yeah.
Huh? Jor-El,
Yeah.
be reasonable, my friend. I've never been otherwise. I mean, these are great performances.
It is.
And when you first see Superman, the helicopter scene, iconic. But you're right. Once
Yeah.
he starts turning the world around, that's where I'm like, no, no.
Yeah.
But it's still
Unlike
a great
in the
movie.
comics.
I still think it's
Yeah,
a fun movie.
it's very disjointed. The first two the first 2/3 of the movie are near perfect for me, and I will love them till the day I die.
All right, then.
All right, awesome.
Tito?
I also picked Superman 1978 for all the same reasons Brian did.
No kidding.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think so. I was shocked.
Tito.
I got 4 here, but I want to kick one out.
Pick the Zack Snyder, man.
You know what? Yeah, right.
The quest for peace. Tito, did you not understand the assignment?
I'm going Blade.
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 Nice.
98.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good pick.
I remember the first time I saw it, I had a friend, he had it on bootleg. He was like, you should see Blade. It's really, really good. And I was like, impossible. They don't make good. They can't make that into a good movie. It sucks. I'm sure of it. And we watched it on VHS in my living room. And I was just obsessed with that movie. I watched it like a million times after. It was just dark and gritty. And I've always been a Wesley Snipes fan. And just like the action, the violence, I was like, oh, you can make a really good movie. And X-Men hadn't happened yet. Spider-Man hadn't happened yet. But I was like, oh, if Marvel can do this, like they can do any kind of thing. That sounded weird when I said it. Until X-Men and Spider-Man came out, and I was like, wow, this is where it's really going to go.
Right.
But absolutely love Blade. Still go to it. Fantastic film.
Definitely.
Love
Nice.
the origin.
My second one is the origin of the Incredible Hulk. Bruce Banner is caught in a gamma explosion that unleashes a monster inside of him, ergo making him the most powerful example of the Jekyll and Hyde persona. Be it his reluctance to become a hero, the constant battle to control the nightmarish rage that lurks in him, the Hulk is both comic book hero and classic universal monster. Two things I absolutely love. The comic book origin. I like the Incredible Hulk movie. I didn't like the Hulk. I loved the TV show when I was a kid. I was afraid of Lou Ferrigno's Hulk as a kid.
And you still are afraid
I
of Lou
still am.
Ferrigno because
Now
you
he's just
insisted
mean.
on paying him
Now
in
he's mean.
credit instead of cash.
So I'm a huge Hulk fan, and especially when he's the monster. And I'm looking forward to the new series that's coming out, where he's Hulk's going back to horror. I'm excited for that. But that's why I like this character. That's why I like this origin. It has its roots in monsters and metamorphosis. So that's got to be on there.
Yeah.
Nice.
The balance of Bruce Banner and the Hulk is it's cool. It's the Jekyll
It
and Hyde
is.
thing, but I'd always rather just follow the Hulk and
Not Bruce
Oh,
Banner
yeah.
he's
at all.
doing.
Yeah.
Not Professor Hulk, just fucking Hulk.
Well, it's the same thing with Jekyll
Same.
and Hyde. Everybody wants Mr. Hyde, and
Yeah.
who cares about Dr. Jekyll?
Well,
See, I don't know though, but
there's a
Bruce
point
Banner
where
is
you
a more
need him.
interesting
Yeah.
doctor. Like human side of it. I like I like his turmoil as opposed to
He's Jekyll.
Yeah.
He's just once he's out, and then you know where he's going. There is
plus-
something to be said about.
plus Jekyll does
watching
it
the
to
other
himself.
character. Yeah,
because Jekyll drinks drinks the stuff,
right.
Yeah.
Whereas Banner can't control it. It's inside him, and
Yeah. They
Plus
hate
it's-
each other,
yeah.
which is also really
And
cool.
psychologically, as you learn his origins, being abused by his dad and
Yeah.
everything, are just
Definitely.
so poetic. It's such a great character. It always has been. And again, Professor Hulk, not a fan of, never have been, but he's a character that people do like, and you can do so much with the Hulk. And I think that's really cool when a character can be interpreted in many different ways. Even if I don't like all of them, it shows that this is a timeless character that can just be manipulated to serve a good story. And some of them act the same all the time, or the Hulk you can do anything with, and I think that's cool. Be it monster, hero, team up with the Avengers, or just make them, a Frankenstein-like creature or whatever.
Now, you and I both enjoy the Immortal Hulk.
I love
those
the
comics.
Immortal Hulk.
How do you feel about the whole what they've done with the whole Gamma thing, like the Green Door?
Loved it.
That mythology. You like?
I liked it. Yeah. I like when they add more to his mythology. After a while, it's like, oh, he's angry. Yeah, don't make him angry. We know.
Yeah.
So
Punch
it's
a hole
cool.
through reality.
Yeah.
Fucking badass.
Yeah.
Only him. He's immortal.
That's how strong he is. That's like the greatest one I've ever heard as far as like, how strong are you? Oh, I'm so strong I can punch a hole through reality. It's like, wow, damn, that's fucking strong.
Chuck Norris
Yeah.
can't even
Love
do
it.
that.
I love it. I always love that one.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking forward to the new series coming out in June where he's just fighting the Marvel monsters. And sorry to tie that up. Go ahead, Derek.
No. I carried it on too. So it was an interesting conversation. I'm glad we had it.
It's all in the game.
I'm glad we did this.
My second one is Captain America. Steve Rogers, a genuine good person, and he gets the super serum. The super serum origin itself is kind of like it's spun off onto other characters, that have been affected, much like
Is this the first Avenger movie, or are you talking about the Salinger movie?
Just in general
that we watched.
That was awesome. The polio one? Let's bring it back, baby.
I don't know, Tito. The last time you brought up polio, it did come back.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
Maybe you can punch a hole in reality.
Okay, I will.
Tito's mutant power.
Sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
but yeah, just in general, just the idea of from the comics and from First Avenger. Just, the idea of this kid who just wanted to be fighting for his country, and he's so idealistic, and he's just a genuine good person, and
Why do you want to kill Nazis?
exactly.
Well, I like that. Like,
I don't want to
there's some
kill
kind of,
anybody. I just don't like bullies.
fantasy aspect to it, where it's like he was the only one that could have stood it, or
Right.
they keep trying to make it, and even if they did make it, it would never be as good.
Right.
But then it spawns everything else, like the Incredible
The
Hulk.
Hulk,
right?
yeah,
comes
exactly.
from that. Tony Stark and the Iron Man suit is. It's all an attempt to make
to
that
recreate
super
the super soldier
Yeah.
serum.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
story.
I think nothing beats that original, and he's just a cool character, and especially the whole man out of time part of that origin is just it's intriguing, and as far as the movie, I mean, Chris Evans did such an awesome job. He
really did.
I loved what they did with that character throughout those movies. The rise and fall, really, and him always getting back up.
Yeah.
He could do this all day.
Exactly. Exactly. They say that there are certain actors that are born to play certain roles.
Right.
And when you look at the first phase of the MCU, you had RDJ, you had Chris Evans, you had Chris Hemsworth. Those guys, I can't picture anybody else now playing those characters, and it's iconic. They did such a good job embodying those characters.
And the funny thing is I'm not even that big of a Captain America fan. Like I never really read a lot of the stuff.
Same here.
He shows up in a lot of the other things I read because he's one of those characters that kind of just
He's always there.
Yeah, he's a Marvel mainstay. But but the idea of him and the background of the character and what he's supposed to represent and everything, I really dig it.
Yeah.
He's like Superman for me. I enjoy Captain America when he's with the Avengers, but I don't read solo Captain America.
That's
Same
right.
with
Feel about-
Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
I
Yeah.
love Superman with the Justice League, but
yeah, me too.
it's
that's
really
that's a good way of
funny
putting it.
how Spider-Man and Superman are the essential mascots of
of
the
their
two
respective
companies.
universes.
But I feel like Captain America.
And they
as
both
Tito
dress in
was
red
saying-
and blue.
True.
Coincidence?
But no,
I think not.
But Captain America did as well. And from what Tito and Derek were saying about how they span the universe, you'd think Captain America would be the mascot because he essentially did for Marvel what Superman did for
I think
DC.
for many, many years, whether you were a comic book fan or not, like you knew Superman, you knew Batman. I think everybody knew Captain America for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then I think Spider-Man, but at a
I think
certain
Spider-Man
point,
had more cartoons
and
and
I
TV
feel like it
shows,
switched
maybe?
over in the 90s where then it became like Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Were like the guys.
Spider-Man, really in the 80s? I feel like
Yeah.
it
No,
was
in the
more
90s.
so-
I just like
Oh, in the
I just like
90s,
culturally
maybe.
like everybody always knew Spider-Man. Spider-Man was always there.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, like everybody knew who Captain America was, whether they read the books or not.
Yeah.
They didn't have any movies. They didn't really have any shows.
It's like through osmosis.
And
He
then,
was just
like,
always there.
Yeah, and then Wolverine came in and kicked him in the head, and then like the Hulk became more popular and more interesting, and Spider-Man is just the fucking greatest comic book character ever made. I can't be convinced otherwise.
I will not
and
try to
then,
convince
like,
you otherwise.
Captain America kind of just falls by the wayside.
That's my second favorite, by the way. But his origin is not on here, surprisingly enough. I don't find.
Well, it's one of those
because I'm a
very-
jerk. Yeah, I mean it's a radioactive spider, but maybe it's just been overdone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Brian,
Right.
Hello. So I'm going with my number 2. I'm going with, it's kind of a tie-in with Derek's, The Rocketeer from 1991.
Nice.
The year is 1938. The Nazis are still claiming that they're the nice guys once you get to know them. And to prove that, they've sent a Zeppelin on a peacekeeping mission or a peacemaking mission across the United States. Billy Campbell plays Cliff Secord, a test pilot who lives with his friend, a mechanic named Peavy, perfectly played by Alan Arkin. Also, he's dating a sweet girl named Jenny, who was an artist's nude model in the original comic, but has been transformed into a much more Disney-friendly actress for the film. Unfortunately, when you realize that Jenny was played by the gorgeous Jennifer Connelly, I kind of wish they had gone the other way.
well, that just makes me hate Disney even more. Now.
Exactly. When Cliff finds Howard Hughes' rocket jetpack, he gets tangled up in a battle between the mob, the FBI, and swashbuckling actor Neville Sinclair, a secret Hollywood. Did I say secret? Secret. A secret Hollywood Nazi, played by former James Bond Timothy Dalton. The Rocketeer was directed by former ILM graphic designer and visual artist Joe Johnston, who went on to direct Captain America: The First Avenger. That's right. Because
Jurassic
of
Park
his
3.
directing of this film and October Sky.
He's got experience
Jurassic
with
Park
Nazis.
3.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Jurassic Park 3. Well, you know, everybody's got a blemish or two on their
That's
resume.
right. That's
So
true.
that's my pick for number 2.
My favorite
love that
quote,
movie.
that quote from Paul Sorvino when he goes, I may not make it on
Oh,
his
yeah.
buck, but I'm 100% American.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's funny. when he was talking about it, I was thinking of Paul Sorvino.
Yep.
yeah.
Because I love
Great
how
cast.
even like the mob was like, nah, we're not fucking with
Yeah,
him.
no, it really is a great
Yeah, and like
cast
the
in
big,
that
what
movie.
was the big brute's name? The Gollum looking.
Forget, but he looked like Rondo Hatton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did. He
yeah,
did.
he
Well, I
really
think,
did.
I think that the makeup was
Yeah.
supposed to
Yep.
look like him.
Exactly.
Tito.
Yeah.
We're doing a show.
I'm
you okay there?
I
Wake
know,
up,
but then
Tito. We're almost at
started,
Grandma's.
typing Rocketeer because then I was curious about that fucking.
Oh.
Then I realized it was my turn.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can look up whatever you want. We can edit it out, Tito, if you want.
No, it's
Take a
fine.
minute.
I'll come back to
Take a
when
beat.
Mark's doing his stupid one. My next movie is going to be 1990s. 1990 Ninja Turtles.
Oh, sweet.
I fucking love that movie.
That is an awesome movie.
I saw it in the theaters. One of the, besides Batman '89, that's one of the few movies that like I remember in the theaters and remember being super excited to see, and not disappointed at all being a kid seeing this movie, and not being disappointed today talking about this movie. Just a really fun, entertaining, kind of dark, which is what everybody was hoping for. It's got Casey Jones, which is what I was hoping for, and it was just always just a fun, entertaining. I liked that they kept it relatively close to what you wanted it to be, and you know they gave them different colored headbands because they were supposed to.
What was the origin in the comics? Was it different? Was it not?
So it's in the cartoon. It's I think very similar to the comic where it's the guy becomes a rat.
Yeah.
Right.
As opposed to a rat becoming anthropomorphic.
In the movie and in the comic, he's a rat.
Right.
Oroku's not Oroku. Hamato Yoshi.
Hamato Yoshi isn't
is
the owner of the rat. He becomes Splinter.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But besides that, it didn't. Yeah, I remember thinking it was so edgy being able to see that movie. And yeah, and then just like the Jim, I love Jim Henson growing up. I want to be Jim Henson.
Incredible. We've talked about this before.
Yeah,
they still hold up.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I think. Yeah.
And you know, and my guy was in it. Corey Feldman was in it. He was like my idol back then.
Donatello. Pizza
Still
dude's
gonna go
got
see him in
30
concert?
seconds.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tickets dropped in price. There's 75 cents.
75 cents.
Yeah.
Dude,
With the, yeah.
All right.
I'll wait until they're a quarter.
I'll buy that for $1.
Get a gumball from a supermarket dispenser with $25 though. It's
And it's got Corey's picture on it.
Oh, they gotta chew Corey's head. My last one is, once you go green, you never go back, I guess, because this last choice is also very green. Green Lantern, in fact. Hal Jordan.
Oh, wow.
And even more fact, the comic book, not the movie. I'm a big fan, although they're pretty true to the movie. I just like how it's done in the comics. So simple and better. I'm a big fan of someone being chosen, the chosen one, so to speak. And dying Green Lantern Abin Sur is found by Hal Jordan, whose ring senses the man's unbridled bravery, and chooses Hal Jordan to take the place of Abin Sur, making him the Green Lantern. It's simple, but it's an effective origin. It's just cool. The idea that your bravery can be basically supersized to galactic proportions because of a ring.
Well,
That's
like
great for a
willpower.
kid.
That one always confused me growing up. I was like, willpower? What the fuck is
willpower. Yeah. I don't have that.
What's a willpower?
Not the most complicated origin. There were probably others that are better in many ways, but for some reason this one always sticks with me. I don't
even know if I know the older ones.
Alan Scott?
Yeah, like
he finds a lamp. It's the lamp. He's an archaeologist, I believe, he's thrown from a train.
His
Some
weakness
shit
is
like
wood.
that. His weakness is wood.
Seriously?
For real?
Watch out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And the
like-
Green Lantern
like
has yellow.
Doctor Who's sonic screwdriver.
Yeah.
Doesn't work on wood.
Doesn't work on wood.
It doesn't.
What is it about wood?
I don't know. You tell me.
Such a holy material. That's why.
Maybe that's what it is.
Insert sound effect here.
You don't have to now. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Wood. So that's my last one.
All right. My last one is from the comics. It hasn't been in a movie. He's a lesser known character. A lot of people don't know him unless you're like I don't want to call myself a hardcore comic fan, but
The lemur. No.
Nerd. Weasel. No. Metamorpho.
Oh, Metamorpho. Rex.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his last name?
I can't remember his last name either.
Not Manning. It's not Rex Manning.
What's with today?
Yeah.
What's with today?
That was last month.
But he falls in love with a corrupt businessman, Simon Stagg, who is another one of those mainstays in DC. Is kind of always, in the background. He's just a shifty business guy. He falls in love with his daughter. Simon Stagg has him, hires someone to kill him. He ends up getting, I think, hit by a meteorite, and it affects his body so that all his all the minerals and chemicals in his body react. He ends up becoming this like big blobbish thing.
Did you just call me blob?
And and he gets suicidal. He doesn't want to live, but he cannot destroy himself. He's immortal basically, and he can't kill himself. And Simon Stagg's daughter actually still loves him and stays with him and helps him become a man again and become a hero instead of and kind of focus his power, learn how to use his abilities to become a pretty cool hero.
Mason.
Rex Mason.
That's right.
Get me Rex Kramer.
He's been on Batman's team, The Outsiders. He's been a part of a couple different groups. Yeah, he's got a pretty cool origin.
I like
That's a
that
good
origin
one.
story
That's
a lot.
A deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah, and I dig like.
So what are his powers again?
never
What
got
can he
into
do?
So he can manipulate his body using whatever is in the human body, like anything that's within him. Any of the
So like he could
chemicals or
literally
stuff. So
become like a
he
pillar
can-
of salt.
right? Or he can turn his fist into like an iron hammer, or he basically just whatever chemicals are in the body, he can create things, and he can add them together too to make compounds. So
I always thought he looked really, really cheesy, and I just never got into him. But
he is kind of like
story
because he's got like orange and
Oh
pink
yeah,
and
yeah.
the white head, and he's kind of funny looking, but
Yeah.
better looking than he did, than he was when he first became the guy, because he was like this amorphous blob.
Did you just call me blob?
Monstrous looking thing, like the Thing.
He was in that new Terrifics run for a while. I don't know if they're
That's
still
right.
doing it,
Yeah.
but that was a good one. They do cover his origin in Justice League, the animated series. They do have an episode
do they?
dedicated to it, and it's told just like that with Simon
Oh,
Staggs
I
and
remember
everything.
that
Yep.
episode.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And and it's part of that again with like the Silver Age Flash, Silver Age Green Lantern. It's part of these heroes that their origins are based in like a lot more science fiction,
Right.
stories, because the space race was happening. America was going to the moon. Everybody was like,
Yep.
that's why all the heroes were like policemen and pilots, and that's
Soldiers.
Jake
Soldiers.
Garrick's is like a water experiment gone wrong, right?
His powers came from hard water.
Hard water.
Which is ice. Yeah.
I think hard water is actually
it's
a
when there's-
heavy water.
Heavy water.
Heavy water
Heavy
is a
water has a lot
byproduct
of
of nuclear
The
experimentation.
the 30s origins you could buy easier because but you go back and look and you're like, oh, okay, we gotta. If we're gonna redo this for the Silver Age, we can't go to magic lamps and shit. We just can't.
All right. I had some movies,
Wait,
but
Brian,
I'm sorry, Brian. Excuse me.
Scusi. We
Oh, me scusi.
I'm sorry.
Gabagool.
I don't have one. Cut me out. Cut it out. Fix it.
Hey,
Fix
cut
it.
it out.
Fix it in post.
All right. So my final one. Right, we're doing our final one, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
our final.
I was
final
about
one,
to, and then I was told that you didn't get your turn.
My final one. Well, you could have gone first. As long as you don't step all over mine. My final one is Darkman from 1990.
Darkman.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Sam Raimi, no slouch as a director. With his Evil Dead films, he's shown that he knows his way around a camera, delivering a tight story with his own distinctive style. It came as quite a surprise to many when he was tapped to helm 2001 Spider-Man and its sequels. But a lot of people forget a little overlooked movie Sam made a few years prior to directing Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Sam created one of the most original anti-heroes of all time, with equal parts superhero, tragic universal movie monster, a la The Invisible Man, and nocturnal detective, not unlike The Shadow, brought tragically to life by the, at that time, mostly unknown Liam Neeson. Darkman is one of the most fun rides I can remember having at the movies. Liam Neeson plays Peyton Westlake, a scientist working on a highly experimental form of synthetic skin. He finally develops a form of the skin that can last for exactly 90 minutes before disintegrating. And he does it just at the exact time that a gang of thugs breaks into his lab, burns him with acid, and then blows him up. He blowed up real good. He survives long enough to be brought to a hospital where he's subjected to a different experimental treatment that kills most of his nerves in his skin, but also makes him extremely strong but mentally unstable. After he gains his powers, he is fixated on getting revenge on those who blew him up real good, including Durant, played with evil glee by Larry Drake.
That guy's fantastic.
Yes, Dr. Giggles. Yeah, he was perfect in that movie, man. I love that movie. What a fun ride. What a fun ride that movie
Who
was.
played Darkman after?
It was Arnold Vosloo, who went on to be the Mummy in the
the guy from the Mummy
movies. Yes,
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I remember.
The guy who should have been Black Adam.
I didn't realize Frances McDormand was.
Yeah, Frances
Julie
McDormand
Hastings,
played
yeah.
his girlfriend.
Yep.
Julie,
I love Frances McDormand.
take the fucking elephant.
That's a good choice.
It's like the best line in the movie.
Cuts off the fingers. It's got
Yeah.
Durant's got
Yeah,
the
Durant, he's got a whole collection of them, man. That's a great movie,
Oh, right, 'cause he
man.
got the cigar.
I forgot
Yeah.
that was Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I realized who Sam Raimi was until I was probably like almost 30.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I've seen this movie. Oh, fuck, Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I didn't really get on Sam Raimi's radar until Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like I knew obviously of the the Evil Dead movies. And I knew of Darkman because I love Darkman, but I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together until I saw Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, it's all the same guy.
Yeah. Speaking of, I had something different, but you guys inspired me.
Well.
And I'm going comic book, and I'm going my number one. My number one is Spider-Man, who I believe to be the greatest comic book character ever made.
I believe you said that.
You did say that.
I did.
Yeah.
And this is why the movie upsets me a little bit. As much as I like the newer ones, I actually really like the Uncle Ben backstory. I love it, in fact, because he's like a kid who gets all this power, has no fucking idea what to do with it. And his uncle tells him this really amazing quote that's like the greatest quote ever written. You know, with great power comes great blah, 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 blah.
That if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
And Spider-Man spends the entirety of his life trying to make up for the fact that he couldn't save his uncle. He puts the weight of the world on his shoulders. To do this, and he fights alone for the majority of his career. Right? He fights grown-ass men. Always, they're adults. He's always fighting adults. He's just a kid, and that always stuck with me as a kid, even to growing up. Like this larger-than-life situation where like heroes are always adults. Like even though Peter Parker's grown up. He still always feels like a kid when you're seeing him compared to...
started off in high school.
Right. He's still, even when he becomes Tony Stark's protege, Tony Stark is still his senior, still this mature person. So I got to go, I think the greatest origin ever is Spider-Man.
Okay.
I had something else, but you guys, he's the fucking shit.
Well,
he's the shit.
If we're getting to our runners-up, what was your
curious about that
original
other
pick?
one? Yeah.
My runners-up was actually Into the Spider-Verse as a film.
Oh, I
'cause
love
think
that one, man. I almost picked that one too.
I think I know it's animated. I think it's
Dude,
definitely
it's
the best
still a
animated
perfect movie, man. That is a great movie.
I fucking love it.
When
love
I
that movie.
got my new TV, the 4K TV, that was the first movie I bought in 4K because I'm like, this is going to look spectacular. Like you can pause it you can pause any part of that movie and it looks like a comic panel. It looks beautiful.
It pops.
And I can't wait for the sequel, man.
I can remember when the trailer came out and I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then seeing it, it was just like, okay, it's awesome. And I want to see more things like that. And now they are starting to make more things like that. I forget what it was I just saw recently that I was like, oh, this shit looks like the Spider-Man movie. I can't remember what it was though. I'm a fool. Oh, you know what it was? No, it was. I feel like it was something on Disney Plus. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
You know what? The Moon Girl.
Oh, and Devil Dinosaur.
Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
I've seen bits of the animation.
I agree.
But I could see that.
You're right.
It's like a mix of the Spider-Man animation and the animation for the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, the new movie?
Nickelodeon show. Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? That's what it was. It was the new movie.
Yeah.
It was the new Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I
all
can
right.
see that.
Yeah. It's very like...
That looks very 2D, 3D.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what it was.
Like an animated painting come to life.
There eventually.
It's weird. How did Sony get it so right?
Right.
Yeah.
They had so many things so wrong. I just don't understand.
Seriously.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Yeah.
What do you got for other runners up?
Wonder Woman. That film, I think.
Oh, the first one.
I think is my favorite. One of my favorite superhero films.
That's a great
I absolutely love that story. And the way they did it. I'm not a particularly big fan of Wonder Woman, but I was like, damn, this is good.
Nice. I had the '89 Batman origin. No. I know the Joker didn't kill Bruce Wayne's parents, and I know it was sad.
I liked connecting it though.
I didn't really care that much either way. I just like how that was filmed. I love the music for it.
The actor who played
it scared me when I was a kid. The actor who was young, Jack Nicholson,
You ever
was
dance with the
fucking
devil
brilliant
by the
in
pale
that.
moonlight?
And just the way they shoot it in slow mo and that creepy Danny Elfman score. It's a fucking great origin, and I don't think any other origin has done it justice. There's just something about it. It's not Joe Chill, but it's a fucking great moment in movies. Seeing that as a kid, I was freaked out. I was like, oh, Jesus. The Punisher, the Thomas Jane movie version, as much as I like the idea of, his wife dies and he goes, his wife and kid die, and he becomes this force of vengeance, a la Charles Bronson in Death Wish. They go a step further and kill his entire family line.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Is fucking
Roy Schneider.
Amazing.
Roy Schneider, is his dad.
He's got this family reunion, and all of Frank Castle's family kids are all wiped out. And to me, that was what hurt that movie, because that origin was so good that guy had to be far more psychotic than how Thomas Jane portrayed him in the rest of that film. I think if I have a problem with his performance, it's because anybody that watches their whole fucking family blown away like that would be far more unhinged. Yeah. But
he's a little too nice guy.
Yeah, he's
a little bit too nice.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane.
And the Spectre, comic book origin, the Spectre with Jim Corrigan.
Oh, Jim Corrigan.
Yeah, the Jim Corrigan one, a cop who's gunned down and is possessed by the spirit of the Spectre, and he becomes judge, jury, and executioner.
I don't want to be judge, jury, and executioner.
That's a good one.
So those are mine.
Nice. I'll just go with the Batman ones that I had. Again, Red Hood, Jason Todd, his whole arc, and going from, Robin to Red Hood. Mr. Freeze, especially Batman the Animated Series, Heart of Ice, just like incredible. The Flashpoint, Batman and Joker, Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Oh, that's
like,
a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Just
that is a good
the
one.
two sides of the spectrum of what would happen if your kid got, and instead of the parents, it's Bruce that gets killed, and just like the two of them just went opposite directions of how they handled the grief. And then, people, everybody really in Batman, the majority of the characters have awesome origins. I mean, Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Bane, Batman, Professor Pig. Like, I don't know. There's, that's one of the driving forces of me being such a fan of Batman, is that all the origin stories are just amazing.
We'll have to do a villain's version of this. I don't think we've done
a villain origin.
Yeah, we could definitely.
Like
yeah, we'll have to come back to this. Cool.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
Brian?
Yeah, I had, of course, I have Iron Man. I loved Iron Man, since I was a kid, read all the comics, and I couldn't wait for a movie version to come out when they finally announced it. I was chomping at the bit. I couldn't wait for opening day.
They nailed that origin.
Oh, man, did they ever. Yeah. And it was 15 years ago, two weeks ago, May 2nd, 2008. So 15 years ago.
It was only 15 years ago?
Yeah, only. Jesus,
no,
it feels like
longer.
yesterday.
Well, because there's like, are we up to 30 movies now?
We're getting close to it, yeah.
That came out in 2008.
2008. Kicked off.
X-Men Origins Wolverine came out in 2009.
Yeah.
What a fucking shit show.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hachi Machi.
But
Bocce balls.
the Iron Man, it was near perfect. It was a near perfect movie,
amazing.
man.
Yeah,
near
it's
perfect.
movie.
And as much as I loved the Iron Man movie, my other runner-up is Captain America, like you had picked, Eric. That was my runner-up. And I honestly was never a huge fan of Captain America, the comics. Like Tito said, everybody was aware of Captain America, and I never not liked the guy. But I'll tell you, when the movies came out, man, I think as much as I loved Iron Man, I think movie for movie, the Captain America trilogy is the best part of the early MCU.
Absolutely.
Those three movies are like, I keep rewatching those almost as much, or if not more, than I watch the Iron Man movies. I love them, man.
Yeah, Winter Soldier was on the other day, and I
and when and when you get to Civil War, when it's Iron Man versus Cap, it's like, oh,
there's a guy with a great origin himself, Winter Soldier.
Perfect. Yeah,
Bucky
Barnes, James Buchanan Barnes,
Bucky Barnes,
part of the Highland Commando.
Was Red Hood before Winter Soldier?
I don't know.
Question. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Probably not.
No.
Why, you think that they're similar?
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
Well, they're always borrowing off each other.
I guess they have some things that are similar, but
Sidekick ends up hating the mentor, getting all dark and gritty. Yeah, there's some similarities in there for sure.
I guess.
Black mask,
One's winter,
eyes.
the other's red. Just
Red Hood, metal arm.
Take it combined.
I'm not trying to take
Red
shots at Red Hood. I'm just.
I think you are. I think this is very underhanded.
It just made me think of, that's very Red Hood.
Let's jump them on 3.
Oh,
Derek.
wait a minute.
Pig pie Lantito.
All right, is that our appetizers? Because this was like a whole other show right
I
here.
believe it
Sorry.
was.
Right, okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have 2 main courses then. Let's get to the other one. Main course.
If we must.
Course.
We must.
Let's go eat, huh?
With the excitement of Wolverine joining the cast of Deadpool 3, it's fun to think of how far back this character has gone in his cinematic career. There's, of course, the casting of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, who made his debut as the Dirty Harry of mutants in the 2000 X-Men movie, and has since grown into the role for 17 years and through several films, and has the as has the character himself. Sorry, and unlike Spider-Man, Batman, or the Hulk, but like Iron Man, is one of the few comic heroes to be played by the same actor through many a movie.
Can you imagine if it was still
awesome.
Doug Ray Scott?
You do it for Randolph Scott.
Weird.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we
Weird.
almost
Scott.
got Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray.
Weird. We almost did, but he
Yep.
couldn't do it.
Yep.
Thank you,
Scheduling
Tom
co-
Cruise.
Yeah, thank you, Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise.
All right,
See,
part
and
2.
you're all
Yeah.
mean to him, but he helped you. Tom Cruise helps everyone.
It's the
Right,
power
Katie?
of Scientology.
That's right. Jumping on the couch. Anyway, while many of the X-Men movies have their ups and downs, Wolverine and the Wolverine movies themselves seem to have an overall positive effect on its fans. Of course, there's tonight's movie, which seemed to have the potential not only to be a great X-Men origin film, but a promise for future X-Men origin movies with other characters. That sadly never took to fruition. What was it about this movie that left a lot of fans disappointed? Met with mixed reviews and dissatisfied fans, X-Men Origins Wolverine did not deliver the goods the studio was hoping for. However, despite its low appeal, it did pave the way for better Wolverine stories and movies. So how bad is it? Well, let's grab the booze and grab some wood there, bub, and find out.
Did you just call me Blob?
So, X-Men Origins Wolverine from 2009, directed by Gavin Hood, a.k.a. Blogan, a.k.a. X-Men. There's a lot of wrong with this movie, a.k.a. bullshit. That's not Deadpool. Oh, I start. I like the beginning of this movie. I like the first act of this movie a lot. I think it starts off really good and then just loses it by the second half of the film. I am not the biggest X-Men fan. I love the cartoon. I've picked up an issue here and there. I know of them. I know many of the mutants. I've seen the some of the other X-Men films, not the later ones. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, folks. And when I saw this for the first time back in 2009, I honestly had no idea who Deadpool was. I knew who he was, but I never read anything. So
Same.
But even then, I thought Deadpool looked ridiculous, and I knew nothing. But having said that, I did like Wolverine. I did like Liev Schreiber, and I'll get to that in the comments or when we start doing our categories. But this is a movie that has an incredible beginning and just, for me, quickly flickers out into utter boredom. And by the third act, I'm just like scrolling through my phone on Instagram because I'm like, oh, they're still fighting. Okay. And it just didn't hold my interest past the first, I want to say first half hour maybe, but I really dug the first act of this film so much, I can't completely hate it. Yeah, because I really like how it starts. So that's my opening thought. Derek.
I can agree that the first act is good. And I don't mind Liev Schreiber as much as I used to. The first time I watched this movie, I was like, this is not Sabretooth. But I appreciate him packing on pounds. I mean, Hugh Jackman gave him a special diet to build muscle and mass.
Genocide of chickens.
Right. And, it's like...
That's awesome.
Yeah. The two of them had worked together on Kate and Leopold. And that's where he
Was that the one with Meg Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that movie.
And he recommended him for the part, and and I get it, and I he's a great actor. I think he's underrated. I think
cool. Liev Schreiber.
Agreed. Yeah. Agree. But and I love Danny Houston. Danny Houston, who plays William Stryker in this, fucking awesome. He's awesome in general. He's very intense. He was the main vampire in
30 Days
a Night.
God, yeah.
No God.
But
he's also in Hitchcock with Anthony
Yes.
Hopkins. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, continue.
But he, just the three of them are not enough to save this movie, and it goes like Mark said, it goes south really fast. It loses a lot of steam, and it just didn't deliver the way that it should have. It's the Weapon X story, and I think probably Fox put too much other stuff in it. I think they probably, they wanted to put all these different mutants in. I don't like it when they put like lesser known mutants in as somewhat main characters. Like if you're gonna use you had the rights to the X-Men. There's a million X-Men out there, and you put like Wraith and whatever the cyber. The
Dominic Monaghan's character?
The technopath.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Jesus,
it's it's just kind of because they did something similar with X-Men Origins. There were some characters that were like, oh really? Like
Bradley. I don't even know what character he's supposed to be.
Right. So I didn't like that. I know some people like Taylor Kitsch and like the way Gambit was in this. I didn't. You throw a character like in that, like that in here, you better go all in. Same thing with Deadpool. Like, don't put these characters in if you're going to half-ass it. And I know that this was pre MCU. We're very used to now seeing comic accurate characters and people perfectly cast or, very close to what they are, and they do go all in now. So I think, thankfully, I guess we can be appreciative of this movie because it taught them a lesson. Clearly, Fox didn't learn a lesson because they just continued to hit and miss with X-Men stuff. And that I think that's that's the beauty of Marvel owning the rights to and making their own movies is that you don't have to have people that aren't familiar with the product producing it. Like people who aren't fans of things should not be producing movies that are based on other properties. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. So, Brian?
Yeah, I agree. The first 20 minutes or so of this movie were the best. And then after that, it just fell to pieces. And, I agree with pretty much everything both of you guys have said. It's just a mess. It's a mess of a movie. And unfortunately, Hugh Jackman, being the powerhouse that he is with this role, he cannot pull it together. He cannot save this movie. Just too much emphasis on secondary characters, I think. Unnecessarily throwing in, like you said, Taylor Kitsch. I don't think we needed him at all.
Yeah.
He served no purpose.
No.
He served absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Just not a fan. Not a fan. Yeah, I remember seeing it in the theater and walking away thinking, like Mark said, I don't really know who Deadpool was, but I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, and now that I know who Deadpool is, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I can see why so many people were just pissed off. So many fans were upset. Oh, definitely. Tito.
Yeah, it's weird because Hugh Jackman and was it Laura
Schuler
Donner became like executive producers on so much of these things that it seemed like he was a fan of the property and the character, and you would have thought maybe he did at the time think he was doing something right by making this movie and making it the way they made it. I liken this movie, I was saying this earlier, to another movie that I watch quite often, and it's The Suicide Squad, the first one. I love the opening of The Suicide Squad. When you're seeing all the characters, when you got Will Smith as Deadshot in the prison, and they give him the gun, like all that stuff I love. And then the movie just goes fucking nuts. There was, I don't know if you guys remember this, I thought this movie had one of the best promotional ads. It was like each character got like this 30-second spot. So it'd be like Gambit, and he told you a little something about him, and his eyes glowed. Sabretooth told you
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Blob had one. Will.i.am's character had one. And there were these really cool like 30-second spots, and I was like so excited for this movie. I saw it in the theaters. I didn't like it. I bought it on DVD. I watched it a few more times because like there wasn't much. Right? Just talking now, right? Iron Man was out, but besides that,
but the MCU was just getting started.
Yeah, right. So you had this, and I love the X-Men. So maybe I'm an apologist, but if they made an X-Men movie, I had to see it. I had to own it, even if I didn't like it. Like,
You're a completist.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that.
And I've always liked the X-Men movie. I think for the reason that maybe you don't necessarily like, Derek, I always enjoyed, like, in the first X-Men movie, there's a scene where, like, Bobby Drake makes the ice ball, or like Pyro makes the fireball and Bobby puts it out, like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they can do so many things now.
Yeah.
They're going to bring them back eventually. And they did. Unfortunately, like this, you're hoping that they're going to bring them back. They don't. I like the Blob character. I always thought he was a really cool character. So the Will.i.am thing is funny because he gets cast in this movie and he says, I want Nightcrawler's power. He wanted Nightcrawler. Yeah. Fuck you, Will.i.am.
So that's not
you get to be an actual character. Like, he may be that character.
Wraith was a character. He did exist.
It existed, but he was like, well, I want the Nightcrawler character power. So they were like, okay, so we'll give him this. He can be this character. So because he wanted to teleport. And it's like, well, dude, that doesn't fucking work. And he sucks. Mm-hmm. I don't hate Will.i.am. I do and I don't.
I think wasn't it originally not Rampage? There was another actor that was originally cast.
Was supposed to be the
I want to say
character?
Rampage Jackson, but I don't think it
That'd
was.
Be awesome
I think
if
it was too soon for him.
The story of Wolverine is such a really, really great story. The story of the Weapon X program is an even better story. And again, the little characters like Agent Zero is one of my favorite characters. Is Maverick. He starts out as Maverick in the Weapon X program, and then he later evolves into Agent Zero. But someone who followed the franchise and the comics so closely, like, I was really excited. And I make a lot, I'm just like, it's my movie because I want it to be, kind of,
Gotcha.
Even though it's not very good.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, should we do categories?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Favorite scenes, Mark?
My favorite scene is the intro and the guys on a mission opening scene. So even the opening credits are cool. And I love when they infiltrate that camp or whatever to get the rock. It's that the action scene. Agent Zero has a great action scene. Ryan Reynolds' sword thing is great. That's just it's Predator. It's Kelly's Heroes. It's a fucking man on a mission movie, and I love that. I'm a sucker for that. And Wolverine taking out a helicopter. I mean, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
I think that was the last cool thing before that movie went tits up for me, man. I was like, okay, so I don't know what we're talking about. This is okay. This is where we're going now.
And you got that little hint of Ryan Reynolds, great Deadpool. So you're right. You don't know Deadpool at the time.
I didn't know Deadpool at the time.
When I saw Ryan Reynolds cast, and he had a TV spot too, and I was like, perfect. This guy is perfect for this character.
And he was great in the opening.
And he's awesome in the opening. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So they're gonna show him later on. He's just gonna be wearing a mask, gonna be all fucked up and cool. And that's not what happened. That's not even Ryan Reynolds at the end.
No,
that's
isn't.
somebody else.
Made
up to look like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Ryan
It's
Reynolds.
not Ryan Reynolds.
No shit.
It's awful looking. I also like when what's his face, Bradley or whatever, the Dominic Monaghan guy.
Yeah.
Pippin, Mary. Which one was he? He was Pippin.
He was on Lost.
And he was on Lost.
Yeah.
Charlie.
He's in that Eminem video.
Yeah, he was married.
Yeah. But anyhow, I like when Creed kills him. When Victor, his scene coming into the, it's scary. He's frightening.
Yeah.
And it's got, and I'll save it for the quotes. But that's a great scene too. Liam Schreiber is very good at
He
this.
is.
And
he's
we'll
intense.
We're gonna keep going. Sorry.
You got a favorite scene over there?
Logan versus the Blob. That whole scene, the dialogue in it. Him using the Blob. Like,
did you just call me Blob? No, but
I remember being like, when they introduce him in the beginning when he's part of the team and then he's not the Blob. I'm like, what the fuck? But then I mean, it's one of those things in this movie that is like, see, you can do it right. Like, you have the ability. Why aren't you going all in for everything? And you're just, it's like you only pushed your chips in for certain characters and you just half-assed everything
He
else.
could have been the Blob the entire time.
Right.
Like, he's
And
kind
he
of
was
big. He's got
awesome.
some makeup in the beginning.
I was gonna say,
And I like that actor.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is
Yeah.
awesome.
I think he would have been a pretty good Juggernaut too. This is
Yeah.
He's really
Good
when he's going after that tank and he puts his
He's fist in it, yeah.
He was
I'm
on
like-
that show, The Strain. Remember
Yeah,
The Strain?
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that show.
The silly fet.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the rebar.
I too love the intro. Like I like the fact that you see automatically the differences between them, like personality wise, and like I guess morality wise. The elevator scene leading up to that Deadpool, that's the thing. But then like Deadpool with the swords.
That was too much for you.
A little too much. It was like, okay, we just saw this kind of scene, and this isn't an ability that Deadpool does. Like he has the swords, but
because he likes them.
Yeah, it just kind of looks silly. But
I love when he splits that last ball. Out of
that part is cool.
That's fucking cool.
And but the elevator scene leading up to that, making the comments like Tito said, he's perfect for the role. So even back then, like it was just like, oh wow, he's nailing it. Like this guy likes Deadpool, and he knows what he's doing.
He's the merc with the mouth.
So at least we got that from the movie, if nothing else.
Yeah. And then
part of the movie.
From part of the movie.
Anytime Danny Houston was on camera, it was enjoyable
really
for me because he's probably my favorite striker that there's been in these movies. Brian Cox is probably. He's good.
Yeah.
But I just think Danny Houston is just a little bit more
edgier.
He's more malicious.
Right.
There's something evil about that face.
Yeah.
He's just got that face. Even when he tries to play a nice
Yeah.
guy, he can't.
I know.
He's born to be a villain.
Really.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was season 3 of American Horror Story. He plays the Jazzman.
The Axeman, yeah.
Oh, the Axeman.
Yeah.
Right. What's the Jazzman?
No, I think he's called the
Axeman with the jazz hands.
Is he called? I thought
he's called the Jazzman, but he kills people with an axe.
Right. Yeah. And
it's based on an actual thing that happened.
Is it really?
Jazz music. He's going to come into his home and kill
Is
you.
that the Covenant one?
That's the Covenant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
The Coven.
The Coven. Sorry, the Coven. Yeah.
Coven.
The Covenant is Guy
Covenant.
Ritchie's new movie.
Whatever, Russ. Whatever.
Whatever. Doesn't matter, Russ. So my favorite part of the movie actually is kind of a quiet moment. Is when he's kind of taken in by Ma and Pa Kent.
Yeah.
And they clean him up after they find him running naked through their field into their barn, and he discovers the motorcycle, and he kind of reveals to the old guy that he's a lot older than he seems, because he says, "Oh, I had a 49." He says, "Oh, no, you couldn't have had a 49." Yeah, but no, I like that. And then unfortunately, they don't have a lot of screen time.
No.
Bullet to the chest.
Yeah, yep.
Fucking zero.
Yep.
And then that's like a callback to. This bums me out. So
it reminds me of a lot of other movies. Which is
the thing, like those characters are actual characters, but they're young characters.
What, in the comics?
Yeah, it's Vindicator and Guardian from the Alpha Flight.
Yeah. So, really?
Yeah.
It's, no shit.
I didn't know that.
The Hudson.
I didn't either.
And
the old couple.
Yeah.
The names. But
in the comics, they're younger
named
versions.
after the characters. Yeah.
Named after the characters. Yeah. They find him in Canada originally, and that's how he becomes.
Yeah, because Alpha Flight was like the Canadian Avengers.
Okay. Yeah, essentially.
And Wolverine was part of the Alpha.
Wolverine was part of Alpha
comics.
Flight.
Yeah.
So they tacked that on, which was like cool, but then it's like, oh, you made them old, so now they can't even come back and be.
And
cool.
then you wasted them. Yeah.
And then you wasted them.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a
I just like that quiet scene, and then like him on the run after that. They find him, and he has to escape on the motorcycle, and he's going through the woods, and it's a cool scene.
Yeah,
I really
she gets shot through the chest.
Yeah, it was brutal.
With the lemonade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking sad.
Shock value. That's all that was.
But I like that. I like those quiet moments just before the chaos happened.
Yeah.
And I like the couple, and I like the farmhouse, and I kind of wanted to see more of that, but it wasn't to be.
I gotta go opening, particularly when they're in like Nigeria. The scene in the elevator, the scene with them showing off what they can all do. I just think is really, really fun, and that's
cool
what
too.
the fucking movie should have been. It should have been them. The man on a mission.
The whole movie.
Where shit gets crazy and whatever. And yes, he can.
And then goes sideways.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why does Stryker want to give him adamantium if he wants to make something else? He wants to make the Deadpool. Why give Wolverine the adamantium?
And that
Just
movie,
take his power and give it
Deadpool
to
was already made. It
other
was a Clint
people.
Eastwood movie.
Right, exactly. It just does. I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I never realized this doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
That's
not even a little bit.
That's a good point.
It's not only bad, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, that opening scene, them traveling and fighting in all those wars, even though they're Canadian, I thought was I love those scenes. I love it.
Excuse our gunplay, eh?
Yeah, right. And then but they mentioned it at one point. He's like, I'm Canadian, right? I was like, yeah, why'd you fight in the fucking in the Civil War? Then,
exactly.
Should have stayed in Canada. You would have been fine.
Because they're helpful people. That's why I want to move there. They'll help you with anything. They're good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wolverine has a good heart. Victor Creed just likes
Go
to
stay
kill
with
things.
Tristan.
Yeah, Chris and Tristan.
Tristan and Chris. I'll help them kill people if they want me to.
And they don't call him Sabretooth. He never gets his handle.
Yeah.
He never gets his code name.
He does not, unfortunately,
me out.
and that bummed me out as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got a scene that you don't like? There?
Least favorite scene, the Deadpool. The Deadpool scene, the whole fucking fight at the end bored the shit out of me. And it was, even for a comic book movie, it was inconceivable being able to fight like that and not tripping and falling off that giant thing that they're
silo
fighting.
thing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
the thing
word
from The
I'm
Simpsons,
looking for.
right? The fucking-
Yes.
From
The
the
nuclear
power plant.
silo.
Yeah.
The power plant.
And then to top it all off, Sabretooth grabs Wolverine at the end and says, "Nobody kills you but me," or whatever. And I was like, oh, come
Fuck
on.
you.
Fuck you. That's just so crazy. Give
Yeah,
me a break. If
but-
you want to get into a three-way fight, fine. But that bad guy...
But it fits the comics. It does
if
fit.
it fits the comics, fine. That's fine.
Like, it makes sense
all right.
that he would say that. That is something he would say.
Okay. I just thought it was ham.
Well, because you got to remember, Sabretooth's the guy who hunts down Wolverine on his birthday every year and like fights him and brings him to within an inch of his life, just because he wants to remind him every year on his birthday that I can do. I can do that.
He's such an awesome character. He really is.
He's originally intended to be the father, to be his father.
Oh, no kidding.
Chris Claremont originally his.
But that's a non-canonical story.
It is, but but every time Chris Claremont comes back, he like resurfaces that idea.
Yeah, that was the thing I didn't like, that they made them brothers.
Oh, I hate it.
I didn't like that at all.
I hate it.
You know, they've already given us 2 movies where Sabretooth shows up looking nothing like Liev Schreiber and and doesn't even acknowledge that this is his brother. And then all of a sudden it's like we're doing the origin story and we're brothers? Yeah. Wait a minute. You just gave us like 2 other movies where
well, he got shot in the head with a bullet that made him forget everything.
That's true. The magic adamantium bullet.
It didn't make Liev Schreiber forget everything.
Superman.
But
I know.
Logan forget everything.
Well,
exactly.
Tyler Mane does show up. He's the one that goes and hunts down Wolverine in the first X-Men.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's hunting down Rogue, and he happens upon Wolverine.
That's it.
That's true.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, that movie has its own...
But Wolverine senses him.
He does.
As if they've fought before. Like it's a familiar scent in the air.
Yeah. Sabretooth just smells. Yeah. He's a smelly guy.
Yeah.
He could just
what else for you for a bad...
Do I have anything else written? I think
should.
that's it. Oh, I mean, there's a bunch wrong. I don't care about the romance scenes.
That's what I wrote. All the others.
Yeah. When Wolverine screams basically, no! And what's her name dies. I'm like, it's fucking Darth Vader. No!
That's the one that gets me where I'm like, no, you should be able to smell that she's still alive, even though she took that med.
Right.
Fucking A.
Right.
Jesus. Yeah, see, I don't know these characters well enough. You are
all the silver
pointing
fox
out all
scenes.
the
It was so unneeded.
Yeah.
You know. Mm-hmm. And I had the Deadpool
I think she's
one
kind
too.
of cute. I don't mind her.
Oh, she was cute.
It was her birthday yesterday, Lynn Collins.
Oh, happy birthday, Lynn.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Sorry you weren't in a better X-Men movie, I guess. What else did I not like? Oh, that was it, right? Everything else was just
I didn't like the fact that
and
all the kids were in it. Like,
you didn't like
what
young
they did with
Cyclops
Deadpool,
and-
giving him all the powers. Like, that's not.
That was my thing.
Yeah, Cyclops.
Yeah, why is he shooting laser beams out of his eyes, a la Cyclops?
The Emma Frost character that is called Emma.
Yeah.
has similar has the
she
diamond.
can turn a
force.
diamond.
It's not Emma,
Yeah.
it's not Emma Frost. No.
Brian Singer went on and said no, it was a different character. She's just similar.
God damn you, Brian.
Because she was Silver. Because in the movie she's Silver Fox's sister.
Yeah. Which is
I hate this movie even more now.
Yeah,
those are mine. Yours?
Even I when I was before I started putting the answers and I was kind of rewatching scenes from the movie, I was thinking that I enjoyed the injection scene.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I was like in my mind.
I bet you did.
No, in my gotta inject my meat thermometer. No, I for some reason I remember the scene differently, and I don't know if it's because they've done it in. They've kind of touched upon the Weapon X program in a lot of these movies. So there's been flashbacks and stuff. Like in X-Men 2, there was a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, and what was the X-Men movie that they showed like Wolverine like escaping? There was like a bunch of other people and
that was
Days of
was it
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The end of Apocalypse.
Yeah, they free him from
where he
Weapon
has
X,
like
goes
the
nuts.
actual helmet.
He had the helmet on.
That's a fucking good scene.
Yeah,
that's a good scene.
Yeah,
And that's what I was
because it lasted
thinking.
all of 30 seconds.
Because I'm rewatching this one, and I'm like, yeah, this is awful. Like this is nothing like it is. Like he's not wearing any of the stuff. Like the girl, the doctor that tells him like this is gonna hurt or something. Whatever,
who is that? Anyways, she's just.
Her name's Dr. Frost, even though she's no relation to Emma.
Oh.
So we have an Emma in this movie.
Yeah,
and
who's
Dr.
not
Frost.
Dr. Frost,
and we have a
who's
Dr.
not.
Frost.
Yeah,
Makes total sense.
fucking stupid Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox or Fox?
Fox
Or both.
Fucking
the
Fox.
Fox fucks.
Stupid.
Fox 5.
See, you don't like Brian?
Brian and he.
Yeah, I everything that you guys mentioned and more. I didn't like the fact that they made Sabretooth his brother. I didn't like the fact that Deadpool has every other mutant's abilities. Jesus Christ. I didn't like Taylor Kitsch showing up as Rambo. Isn't that LeBeau?
Remy LeBeau.
Sorry,
Oh,
Remy
that's
LeBeau.
okay, Remy LeBeau.
Remy Rambo.
Or Rambo.
Monica Rambeau.
That's good.
He was useless. He did absolutely nothing to the story. Will.i.am's stupid, like you said, Nightcrawler power. Anyway, there was just so much about this movie I didn't like.
Yeah.
You guys said it better than me.
I go same with Mark. The Deadpool, the Deadpool scene.
I think that's universal.
I truly hate everything else. Is just
Yeah.
But I truly hate that scene. Every time I see him, I'm just like, oh.
Oh, it's an awful looking fight. You can't make out what's going on because they only have a limited amount of space to fight on.
Yeah.
So they got to pull away to show all these wide shots. You don't know who's who. It's going to end. And then Deadpool basically has a Mazo's power.
Right.
It was like, let's take a Mazo.
That's
and
awful.
That's what they do to Deadpool.
You know
they
those
turn him
scenes
into
in
fucking a
movies?
Mazo.
Those scenes in movies where you see them and you get like goosebumps. You have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
When you see Deadpool and you see the fucking katana blades come out of your arms and you're like, how long are those swords?
Your
Oh,
balls
that was another thing
How the
I
fuck
didn't
does he
like.
bend his elbow?
That was another thing I didn't like was the bone claws. I never liked the bone claws, even in the comic. I always thought that the claws should have been something that they added to him because of his mutant healing ability. And then when they came out with the bone claws, I'm like, no. Yeah. And then to see them in the movie, and they look like they've got like almost like knuckles,
Right.
When they come
they're
out,
ridged,
but then
ridged for her pleasure,
right? But then when he has the adamantium bonded to it, they're smooth like knives.
They're-
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm
They're
like,
straight
this
and
makes
sharp.
no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And the effect looked goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
That
The
looked like a
CGI,
goddamn cartoon.
It's not good. It's not good.
I like Sabretooth's nails. He has Meg's power.
Oh, he
from
does.
the-
He's got Mark Pillows.
He does. Fucking right.
He's Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man. That's
The
right.
blades only bother me because when he gets them and then he starts cutting through shit, it's like, but you've had claws this entire time.
I know.
How do you all of a sudden not know how they work? Like they come out of your fucking wrist.
That's just Logan, baby.
It doesn't bother me because they
Or
come
Jimmy.
out more as a triangle, you know, like there's the bones in the middle, but they're like held around for the studio audience who can't see. I'm making finger things. But yeah, that CGI on those blades is not
Yeah,
good. I never mind.
horrible.
You know what? The bone is awesome. That first time in the comic book when you were like, oh shit, he had claws under them the whole time. But for years, that's the assumption was he
That
had
they
metal
just-
claws
yeah.
that they gave him.
Yeah.
And then Magneto ripped all the adamantium out of his body.
And he still had the claws.
One day they just pop out and you're like, oh, fuck. It was this latent thing that never appeared until he got the adamantium. But yeah, I don't like the bone claws either.
No, I thought that was a stupid cop out.
Okay.
But yeah, Deadpool scene. Garbage.
Garbage.
What's
Yep.
the next
Universal.
topic?
What would we change?
What would you change, Mark?
What would I change? Who would I replace? Oh, jeez. I would change Deadpool. And I would not replace him, but I would either have Ryan Reynolds stay Ryan Reynolds, or I don't know, maybe
Just be Wade Wilson the whole movie.
Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I would change? I would what Derek said earlier. I think it was you. I would have it be. I would have the movie be about this team of mutants doing their thing, and have the struggle between Sabretooth and Wolverine grow over the whole duration of the film. And if that means you got to wait until the end to have Wolverine get to Weapon X and put it in another movie, fine. I don't care.
Right.
That opening, that first act was just so fucking powerful. You had these cool characters. You had the Blob, you had Agent Zero, and then we kill him, and then we bring in what the fans wanted, but we mash them all in, right? We did have Wade Wilson, but now we have
wasted
Deadpool.
him.
We have a lousy version of Deadpool. We have fucking Gambit. We have little Cyclops boy. I'd rather just get rid of all that shit and just keep it that version of the Howling Commandos, whatever, man. I want to see these guys work together. I want to see.
They could have built up a lot
Totally.
with the Sabretooth Wolverine thing.
It should have been like some Weapon X.
And that could have been
fighting.
his drive. Like, that's why he signed up. Stryker could have been like, well, if you really want to defeat him, I have a way.
Yeah.
And then get the adamantium.
Totally.
Create this weapon that you'll finally be able to hold your own against.
Like Omega Red should have been the villain of this movie.
Oh, would have been awesome.
Like it should have been the Weapon X program, and they're going after Omega Red, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah,
and
that would have been good.
They can hate each other afterwards,
which I think was talked about.
Yeah.
I feel like the Omega Red thing was there was concept art that went around a while back,
I think you're right. That should have been it.
It should have. I think you're right.
What would you change? Who would you change?
I would remove the romance element completely, because if you're going to do a romance element, there's only two women in Wolverine's life that he has loved. Jean Grey and
Kimiko.
Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to set this movie in Japan and do that story, and you're not going to do a modern day with Jean Grey, then get the fuck out of here with your love interest. You don't need one. It was totally not needed. Liev Schreiber and Hugh Jackman, they have good chemistry. And
they should have been the lovers.
That's not what I meant. But I mean, like,
pops.
No, but like Mark said, if you want to have the movie be about them, then make the movie about them. And again, it's them trying to do too much and just force all this other stuff in that was unneeded. You could, if you had kept it simpler, it would have been a better movie.
Right, especially if you were planning on making other X-Men origin films. Weapon X could have been covered in another movie because, Wolverine's character can cover a whole film, but some of those other characters, I bet you could go back and bring Wolverine in some of them to see how he is doing. And then throw in some Weapon X
I mean, and if you want to put Gambit in a movie, great. Do it in the next X-Men movie. Don't do it save Gambit for fucking Rogue, literally. But I was never a big fan of the fact that they did the whole Bobby Drake thing with her. Like, I would have rather them saved if they wanted.
Well, then that kind of works. Taylor Kitsch and Anna Paquin, age-wise.
If they had used him in one of those movies, that's what I mean. So I would have changed that. I would have added better if you're gonna force other mutant characters in there, then use better ones. And just pull out all the stops. It was watered down. There was it needed better effects, better script, better story.
Don't force more characters in there as plot devices and nothing else. Because that's what Gambit was.
And that's the thing, that's the thing is
they serve no purpose.
They want those 35-second spots to get you in the theater.
Oh yeah,
to do that they need
It got me.
Yeah.
Someday maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Wade Wilson. They should have kept. I mean, knowing what Ryan Reynolds can do now with the character, I mean, we should have gotten something totally better than what we got. It was stupid Frankenstein monster of a character.
Totally.
I hated it. I hated it. Even then, and not knowing what the character really was about at that time.
Yeah.
I was never really a huge X-Men fan, and I was absolutely not a Liefeld fan. So I stayed way away from Deadpool, even though he was a fan favorite. I watched the movie thinking, like, what the fuck am I watching? what is this? And then hearing afterwards, like a lot of people like, oh, you can't have him like that. He's the merc with the mouth. And I'm like, okay, whatever that means. But yeah, he had no mouth. So yeah. I'm like, and what's with the swords for hands and the Cyclops eyes, and I'm like, no,
the clockwork orange eyes,
and being able to bamf
with the
around
diamonds,
like
the Harley Quinn diamond things, the scars,
yeah.
Well, I think that's supposed to be an homage to like his mask.
It was a very poor homage. No, I would have totally changed that. Keep Ryan Reynolds, but change the character completely.
Yeah.
I'm going out. You guys touched on most of my stuff. One thing I would change is actually Wolverine, Logan himself.
Okay.
His hair is too fucking beautiful. His jeans he's wearing like $200 jeans, boot cut.
You're not wrong.
Like Wolverine in the first 2 movies is like fucking
disgusting.
Yeah, he's a fucking pig.
Yeah.
And then in the other movies, they go back to it when they realize, like, what the fuck is up with this feathered hair?
Yeah.
He's too beautiful. It's no good.
Yeah.
It's just no good. It doesn't work. It kills me. His leather jacket, it's very cool. It's way too
I did
crisp.
like the leather jacket.
It's too crisp.
It's too crisp, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
you need to see some fading.
Weathered.
But I like how
damage on
we
it,
got
so.
the jacket and it had like the colors of the costume, which was a nice callback.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, this was our son's. It looks like it'll fit you nice, and he's
brown
like,
and the
yeah,
yellow.
it kind of does. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
But he does. He looks like he's taken plenty of showers.
Yeah, he's been.
He hasn't had
trimming
to
the
fight for a
fucking
place to
beard.
sleep.
Yeah.
He's been lining up his beard.
Well, he's got a lady to go home
I don't
to.
love it.
He's got to smell nice. You know, if you want some of that sweet love, he can't be smelling like,
I think
lumberjack shit.
I think
all
he
day.
can get it.
Well, I think she loves that smell.
You think so?
Yeah,
All
I think
right,
he
maybe
can get
you
it
might
no
be
matter
right.
what.
Manly, yes, but I like it too.
Things that might not work today.
Oh God, did I have this one? I think I forgot. Things that might not work today. Oh, I had Deadpool again. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to go with that fucking young-looking Professor X. That thing is fucking
that's awful.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yo,
It
God,
doesn't- I
that's
don't think it
right.
held
I
up
almost
then,
forgot about
but
that.
it definitely doesn't hold up.
You know what?
now.
Yeah.
That's how the Magneto movie was going to be. It was going to be Ian McKellen de-aged with that. shitty
Oh, are you
de-age
kidding me?
No,
that they originally
I
were
can't.
doing back then.
Nope, they definitely did not work then.
Yeah, no.
And I would not want to see that.
No
That's
good.
not. That doesn't work.
I just put in today's MCU that just more comic accurate characters and costumes.
Yeah.
This was tired shit and it wouldn't fly today.
Yeah. Black coats ain't gonna do it anymore, right?
Not even just
Black
that,
trench
just
coats
like
and
just
leather jackets.
yeah, and you make the people look like they're supposed to look.
Yeah.
And the first one, it kind of made sense. You're like, okay, you're getting black costumes because maybe these costumes don't translate on film.
Right,
But
and they
now
are.
that
They're
you can
very-
see that they do translate on film if done right.
Yeah, but that's a little more forgivable because no one was making superhero movies
Right.
at that
Yeah,
point.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Certainly not Marvel. And the
What's
Marvel
crazy is
so
They get their costumes in at the end of Days of Future Past, I think.
Yeah.
another one.
They
Yeah.
get more comic accurate looking
Yeah.
costumes,
Yeah.
but then
With
they
the
don't,
X's on them.
They don't revisit them.
No.
Yeah. I know they don't. When Apocalypse comes out, they're not wearing.
What are they wearing? Are they?
I think it's the blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Or just like
okay.
regular, just like so like the more classic like original X-Men
gotcha.
costume, or like
Alright.
the New Mutants version,
Yeah.
the trainees version.
I think I'll still watch these. The ones that I'm told are garbage.
You
I
should
probably see
'cause
them once.
I can't believe you
I
haven't
would.
seen them.
Again, wasn't the biggest X-Men fan.
'Cause you're
I'm getting there now. I'm getting there.
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
Something that doesn't
Brian.
work for you, Brian.
What is it?
Something that doesn't work for you today.
I think he's done talking about it.
Okay.
I'm done.
Maybe the whitewashing of the Native American woman.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that's true.
Although she claims to be Cherokee.
Yeah, does she?
What the actress
Well,
does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I claim to be Spartan.
Mm.
Yeah. I was a
I
Spartan.
can't
Is
just-
warrior.
that why you're wearing that? Okay.
Is that yeah?
I
Oh,
claim
my
it as
Lord,
country
yeah.
for Spain.
Is that why you're so shiny today?
So, wow, look at you. Tossing
Oiled up.
people in a pit.
Is that why you keep sliding around the basement?
Tito,
You're covered in oil.
what doesn't work today for you?
So what part of her is supposed to be Cherokee? Because her headshot on IMDb, she looks just like Renee Zellweger.
No, she's just a regular old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's a regular lady.
Like what part of her is supposed to be Cherokee? Cherokee?
You have to ask her.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was
her.
funny because what I read was like, she claims. You know,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Wikipedia wasn't prepared to be like, she's Cherokee. They were like, well, she's claiming to be Cherokee.
Well, we're not fact checking that.
Quote us on this.
It was hilarious because you're just like of Irish descent, and they were like, "Oh, she's claiming to be Cherokee, so we're gonna let her have this one." Honestly, some of the fight scenes, they're like this fucking knockoff Chinese action wannabe.
Shaw Brothers kind of shit.
Yeah, when they're like jumping through the air, but they're in the air for too long.
Yeah.
Or the
Oh,
front
yeah.
flip is
Yeah.
like this really long, drawn out front flip. It's like what
Wade
the
does
fuck?
that like spin in the
Oh,
air,
the spin
like
with
a
the
fucking
swords?
figure skater.
Oh, God,
I
hate it.
didn't like the saber-tooth like werewolf run.
The run thing.
Yes,
Oh,
on the
yeah,
all
yeah.
fours. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
I
stop
don't
that
know.
shit.
Oh, see, I like that.
No,
Oh, you did.
why?
I like that.
Oh,
I don't know because
no.
it's more animalistic. That's
Yeah, it was a little too. It was a little too.
Well,
I like
Wolverine is supposed
it
to be
better. I
animalistic
like
too,
it
but he
better
doesn't
when
run
Tyler
like
Mane
that.
ran like that.
Oh, okay, maybe a little
Well,
better.
he looked more the part.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
When
remember
Liev
him
Schreiber
doing
does
that.
it,
Well, that's the thing is I think they should have probably added some makeup to Liev Schreiber to
A little
make him
bit.
a little bit more like
yeah.
Yeah.
All they did was give him a little bit of a fang and
Yeah,
some
and, like, some
meg
mutton
claws.
chops.
Gun chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that Agent Zero scene in the beginning, I love how he reloads his gun.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh,
But
that was cool.
I don't like the jump over the fence. It's just too like long and drawn out.
I didn't
and
mind that.
Overly,
That was okay.
it just-
Yeah.
it's a little too hokey for me. And some of those scenes, same with the Ryan Reynolds, this spinny top move.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he flips the fucking clips and then puts it back in the
Yeah,
gun,
that was cool.
I thought that was badass.
I just think it's awesome because I can't do it. So
You'll get there.
thanks,
Yeah,
Tim.
keep practicing.
Thank you.
Award for what are you doing in this movie?
Because I was a fan of Lost for a while, Dominic Monaghan, and it was like, oh, you, I
Charlie.
forgot you were a thing,
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah,
Yeah.
you. That's
It's
right.
not Penny.
Yep.
It's not Penny.
Play Drive Shaft.
what was that song that
the one I.
what
did-
they all sang because it was their like one hit.
What, on Drive Shaft?
Yeah,
From
Drive
Lost?
Shaft. Yeah, well, remember?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
All You Everything. Wasn't it? Something like that? All You Everybody?
Yes. Yeah, I
Something
think
like
is
that.
the name of it. I can't remember how it goes.
I just know he's in that Eminem video with Megan Fox. He's right, isn't that him? The
Oh, was
friggin'
it the Love the Way You Lie?
Love the Way You Lie, where he's
Oh.
singing with Rihanna.
Huh.
And I know he was a Hobbit, and fuck Hobbits. So
Fuck Hobbit.
that's mine.
he
What's-
used
you
to-
all
he used to date it.
everybody.
Is it All You Everybody?
You are everybody.
All everybody.
You are. Yeah, that's right. Now everybody knows who would have made an
All
excellent
You Everybody
Gambit.
knows?
All You Everybody. Yeah.
Sawyer.
Yes.
Sawyer would have been
Yeah.
a great gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Sawyer
I
would have been a
agree.
great gambit. Yeah,
Is who should have been cast.
Yeah.
That's a good
What's his
gambit.
name?
You know the-
What's the actor's name?
I
Holloway?
forget.
Yeah, Josh Holloway.
All right, the only other thing I've ever seen him in was that Mission Impossible,
Impossible,
movie where
when
he
he
shows
dies
up
in
at the
the
very
beginning.
beginning and gets killed.
Yep.
Sawyer.
Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, all right, Ghost Protocol,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. He gets killed by, what's her name,
Leia,
Seydoux?
Leia Sado.
Yeah.
Say
Seydoux.
say you, say me.
Terry
Hello.
O'Quinn could have been.
Is it me?
A lot of X-Men promise on that. Terry O'Quinn could have been fucking Professor X.
Professor X, John Locke.
He
Yeah.
could be a lot of other
He
things
could've
too.
Matthew Fox could have
Terry O'Quinn actually could have made a nice striker. I could see him playing. He plays a good
plays,
bad guy.
he plays a great bad
Or
guy.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He would have been a good Lex Luthor. You're right. Not that I want to see any more Lex Luthor for a
Yeah,
while,
we don't want to
but-
bring Lex Luthor into the X-Men universe.
No, he's in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Wrong. Yeah.
Whatever.
You got a.
Yeah. Troy Sivan. He's a pop star. I forget what songs he sang, but he's the kid that plays young Logan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's
Pop
just
sensation.
he's like he did a couple other movies too, but yeah, I remember reading. I'm like, oh shit, that was him. Holy shit.
I did not like the young Logan stuff. I thought it was. I didn't care for the. I don't care about the James Howlett backstory.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool when they introduced it in the comics, and then they were like fucking shoehorn that bitch right into this movie. I didn't like that he kept calling him Jimmy the whole movie. It was
Yeah.
really fucking
Jimmy.
bugging me.
Yeah, that's not Jimmy.
I didn't like it.
Jimmy.
You got a word over there, Brian?
Timmy. Oh. Mutant fight. I didn't like weirdly CGI'd Patrick Stewart. Why is he in this movie? I don't
to
know.
welcome all the students.
I don't think it was needed. Again, speaking of shoehorning shit into a movie that's already full of stuff that shouldn't be shoehorned into the movie. No, save that for another time. This is his origin, and we don't need to see. We know he gets to be an X-Men.
Yeah.
We know how that. We've seen it.
We've seen
in the
the
first
origin of him
X-Men
become-
movie.
yeah, exactly.
We don't need a retelling, which isn't even a retelling. It's totally different than what you've already shown us. And Patrick Stewart is weirdly like de-aged, like he looks like he's 15.
Looks terrible.
It's horrible.
He's like glistening.
He is.
Well, that's like
weird.
the scene in X-Men Last Stand when him and Ian McKellen they go to meet Jean Grey for the first time.
Yeah.
They do the
make
same
him look
thing.
Younger. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awful.
Yeah.
Before they had figured it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And even now, it doesn't look 100%.
No.
Some is good though, like
Some
Robert
is
Downey
all right.
Jr. Like DH.
Oh my God, that was
awesome.
fantastic in Iron Man 3.
I
I mean,
thought
not
that-
Iron Man 3 in
Is it Civil War?
Civil
And in
War.
Rogue
Thank
One.
you. And Leia.
Tarkin.
Yeah.
No, but Leia was terrible.
Leia wasn't bad.
Leia,
I didn't mind-
Leia looked a
Leia
little
cartoonish.
off.
She was on
I thought
screen
Leia
for
was
30
alright.
seconds.
Yeah.
She didn't look bad for 30 seconds.
But Tarkin was like.
I thought
Tarkin was
okay.
great.
Tarkin was
There was
all
still a little uncanny valley about him.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, there really was. It wasn't 100%, but it was very passable.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but again, it's slight. There's just something slightly off about it. Even
Luke
in the
Skywalker's, I thought was
Hey,
really good.
I'll take CGI Peter Cushing, over no Peter Cushing at all.
okay,
right.
that's
Absolutely.
Keep him alive. Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Brian.
Now you got all the AI. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
know.
everything.
It's true.
So close to Skynet. I can't believe everybody's happy about this.
Yeah,
You're all going to be fucked.
Pretty soon the bots are going to be doing our podcast for us.
That's it.
You've got to listen to me. Elementary chaos theory tells us that all robots will eventually turn against their masters and run amok in an orgy of blood and kicking and the biting with the metal teeth and the hurting and shoving.
Mine is a rando.
Mark's over there doing the robot for all you people at home.
Daniel Negreanu. Are you guys familiar with Daniel Negreanu?
Refresh my memory.
He is like a world-class poker player. He's like one of the best on earth. He is playing poker against Gambit in that scene.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a cool, if you're a poker fan.
Oh, see, I didn't get that.
Or you watch Poker After Dark or any of the tournaments or whatever, Daniel Negreanu.
He's not the one that just died recently, is he?
No, he's still alive.
There's like
that
some
was Doyle
poker
Brunson.
king. Doyle, okay.
Doyle Brunson was like 90-something years old. Though.
right.
He's like the man.
He was entitled.
Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved
Okay,
to die.
he deserved it.
No, he deserved his chance. At,
He deserved it.
He lived a good life.
That woman deserves her revenge. And we deserve to die.
Title.
It was his time. I don't know. He's like 100 years old.
He
rest in
played
peace.
his hand, I say. Let him crash.
Let him fold.
He made it to 90.
Do we have a best favorite quote?
Yes, mine is, "I'm not afraid to die, Victor." And Victor says, "How do you know? You haven't tried it yet."
Yeah.
Great line right there.
Mine actually, we kind of touched upon it earlier. It's William Stryker saying, "Your country needs you," and Logan saying, "I'm Canadian."
Yeah.
I do like a lot of the Wade Wilson stuff too.
Yeah.
But that one.
Oh, he's got some really fun one-liners.
Yeah, mine was a Wade Wilson one, too.
What was yours?
All I ever wanted to do was travel off to exotic places, meet new exciting people, and then kill them. So I became a mercenary. My name's Wade Wilson, and I love what I do.
I'm going oldie but a goodie. You finally get the line. I'm really good with what I do. I'm the best best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice, which is a classic Wolverine line from the books.
Yeah.
And you got Bub all the time, which is also very classic.
Did you just call me Blob? No,
But we
You can see
finally
there's a
got
running
that
joke.
line.
Oh, the whole thing about the tattoo.
I couldn't tell.
The tattoo, and when he goes, I remember when that one girl used to be 85 pounds lighter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was cool. I did like that.
That guy was great. I
Yeah.
love that guy. Do you remember the arcade game, the X-Men?
Yeah.
When you fought the Blob, and
Yep.
he would always say, "Nothing moves the Blob," and that's all he would say.
You could be Dazzler in that game.
Yeah.
No, you could.
You could. They have
you
that
wanted
game
to
at
be.
Free Play.
Did you ever play as her?
No, man. Shit, no, man.
No, fuck no.
No.
If they
I
had
was
that
always
free play-
Wolverine or I'd be Colossus.
Oh, Wolverine.
I was Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler was good.
That would
I
be a
love-
cool character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have it at free play. You'll play it. When
Do they?
Yeah,
If I'm
Then
ever in a
gonna
movie,
play
I
it.
want Nightcrawler's power.
Nothing moves
Huh?
the block.
So if I'm ever in one of these movies, I want Nightcrawler's
You
power.
Do that? All right. Derek, I am.
which is insane because when they did Nightcrawler in part 2, it's one of the best.
The best opening ever.
Oh, my.
It is.
Oh, yes. In the
so
White House.
good.
Oh,
Awesome.
fantastic.
That's
scene.
a good movie, though. I like X-Men 2.
X2 is
a lot.
Yeah.
awesome.
And
X2
they
is
love
great.
X2.
nailed,
Yeah.
like they nailed
See, we
his
should have watched
ability.
X-Men 2 twice instead of this one.
times 2.
There you go with that math again.
X
It's all about the
times
math.
2. MVP.
And yet we have a Tito.
My MVP is Liev Schreiber. Pulls a great performance despite having little to work with.
Oh,
You
you
see
see
what
what
he
they
has
have
to
to work with you.
He's got nothing to work with. Like Derek said, he's got just a little bit of
Yeah.
fangs, a little bit of stubble, and a creepy black coat, scary black coat.
I think it's
He-
green, which is even
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I thought
It's just
less
very
to work
dirty.
with.
green, black, whatever.
It's forest green.
But he's not. He doesn't look like Sabretooth. And yet he gives a great performance. He bulks up. He's very imposing looking, and he can be scary. And I think he, again, having very little of the comic book look, he pulls off a good performance as Sabretooth.
Yeah. Mine, Hugh Jackman. It's the movie wouldn't be anything without him
For
at
sure.
all.
Yep.
He's just an awesome Wolverine. He always has been. He always will be. He could make these movies forever. I mean,
And he will be.
and yeah, he should.
If Ryan Reynolds has anything
Yeah.
to say about it.
Like, there's no need to retire.
Yeah,
You can always just take a break and do a musical and just come back to Logan.
that's right. They're not making Van Helsing 2. You might as well get on.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's not happening. Not happening.
We can dream.
Yeah.
You can dream.
Yeah.
Someday. Someday.
Brian, you got an MVP?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Hugh Jackman, too. And for the same reason as Derek. It wasn't that great of a story, but it wouldn't be a movie without him.
Yeah.
I'm going for someone who has the least amount of screen time. I think Ryan Reynolds wins this movie.
Wow.
Because despite being in
controversy.
2 really fucking terrible comic book movies, 3? 3? Yeah, we got Green Lantern, this,
Yeah.
fucking Blade Trinity.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. I forgot about that.
He didn't give up. And
No, he didn't.
He made his own Deadpool movie, got the fucking movie made because everybody knew he was perfect.
Yeah.
He knew he was perfect. He knew he just needed one more chance
Did
to
you ever
show
see
everybody.
that was it the proof of concept reel that
Yeah.
he did?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And it's almost like shot for shot that scene that's in the movie where he's sitting on the bridge waiting for the
Yeah,
bad
listening
guy.
to Salt Pepper.
And
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he's passionate. He's like, it's a passion project.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's always going to be a
I was
good.
like, dude, he's a fan. And he
Everybody asks me why I wear the red suit. Well, so the bad guys don't see me bleed. This guy gets it. He's wearing his brown pants.
And then they did the PG-13 version with the Princess Bride.
Yep.
Yep.
He
Big
was in the
Fred Savage.
He was in that Celine Dion video that she did for
Right.
the song. He's all in. So that I appreciate it.
Yeah. And he pulls off good movies.
And he does it. He does
Like
it
Derek says, if you have someone passionate about the film,
Yeah.
making the film,
well. You can see.
you get a good
Yep.
film.
That's right.
You're not wrong.
The dude's made a career right now out of playing Deadpool and just doing cameos in other people's movies. Because,
Right.
like we said a few weeks ago, he's like the king of cameos.
Yes,
he's
he
just
is.
showing up and just doing 30-second spots and
Which is good because
fucking
he's
off
in
into the
everything,
background.
but he's also still there for his family. He's there for his kids.
Does it make the rotation?
Probably not, no.
Fuck no.
Yeah, no. If I didn't have to watch it for the podcast, I don't think I would have watched it at all.
I don't need to go
I
back
saw it
and
the
see
one
I
time
would
and
watch
that was
the
enough.
opening again, and that's it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
It did at one point for me, many years ago. When
Yeah,
there
you
was
bought the DVDs.
When there was nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it more than once. But yeah, no, not at this point.
I've seen it twice. I don't think I'll see it again for a very long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Well, just kind of, how does it stack up? Comic book movies, X-Men movies?
Oh,
Where
it's
does
at
it
the
rank?
bottom of the barrel for
Bottom, yeah.
everything.
For everything, yeah,
Yeah.
same. I agree. Let's skip. If you had to make a sequel, how would it go?
I didn't have anything for this. I don't have enough knowledge. I want to hear yours. I want to hear the experts.
Same here. I don't have a sequel either.
you don't?
So, no.
I mean, there's been
I don't
several.
either.
It's hard because there've been sequels done.
Yeah.
So.
I liked Logan. And I was pretty happy with it. I liked the Wolverine.
Logan
too.
was a great movie.
Yeah.
Not the feel-good
totally.
movie of the year,
No,
but it was a great movie.
and true to the character. And
Oh, yeah.
it was just I still would have loved to see him in the yellow suit. So my fingers are crossed that Deadpool 3 he's finally going to be forced into it. Even
They're
if it's just
teasing
like
it, man. They're teasing it.
Yeah. So
and the suit would be awesome. And they tease it at the end of the Wolverine.
Right.
He opens
it up and
he opens up a suitcase and the yellow suit's inside.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
right.
like bright
He was on the
yellow,
plane, right?
But
Yep.
it's
yeah.
It's a start.
And it's got the helmet,
mask and everything, yeah.
thing, and I kind of want to see it just once.
I guess if I were to make a sequel, I would have made this. I would have made this movie all about the guys on the mission, like I said, and I would make the sequel Weapon X.
Yeah.
All the Weapon X takes place in the sequel. That's
X-Men Origins origin.
Yeah, Origin. Weapon X.
Well, and you know what I would have done?
Weapon X
X-Men Origin Weapon X.
I would love to have them finally, like they've hinted and alluded to Mr. Sinister for years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Almost every movie has some type of reference to Essex Corp or just fucking pull the trigger and give it to us. Like he is a fun character. There's so many actors that would be perfect for that role. I just want to see it. And
I mean, I think if anybody could give it to us, it's going to be Deadpool because that was the last one to do it. If you're going to get Wolverine involved, then like, why not?
And Deadpool, Deadpool 2 referenced it. Like that, the name of that place
the
was
school, the orphanage
school
is
was-
Essex,
yeah. So, I just fingers crossed.
Maybe.
I'm really hoping that this is just going to be one big giant present, like the final. I'm sorry for all of this.
As opposed to the time traveling, like course correcting thing he did at the end of the last one,
Which was nice. It was a start.
You're welcome, Canada.
right.
Shoots Ryan Reynolds as he's reading the script to Green Lantern.
That's good. I couldn't think of anything that was sequel worthy.
Yeah,
of this
same here.
fucking thing, this monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a end credit scene?
No, same.
Just an apology.
Apology. I go with Derek.
Lauren Schuler Donner and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Which
I want to see the
Which
blob on a
after credit
treadmill.
scene did
I
you
want to see
get?
the blob on a treadmill.
There you go.
Trying to
Oh,
lose weight,
that's a good
and
one.
he keeps breaking the treadmill, and then he's like, fuck it. And then he just walks through a fucking wall and then walks into a Burger King, and everybody goes out screaming. That's what I
well, nothing moves.
There's a
the
meatball sandwich
that's
on a
what he's-
string in front of him that he's trying to get. And then he just says, fuck it, and he gets the sandwich.
And then one guy who refuses to get out of line says, move, and he goes, nothing moves the blob. And that's my
Oh, that's funny. You're still so funny.
that's my dream.
Why does the blob sound like Barney from The Simpsons?
Nothing moves the blob. Thank you, Superman. Look into my face. Your secret identity streaming. If I'm in an X-Men movie, if I get famous and I get to be in an X-Men movie, I'm going to be like, I want Superman's powers. That's what I want.
Can I be Superman? In
Can
this
I be?
movie?
Can I have
absolutely.
Superman?
Well, I am.
I'm Mark from Three Geeky Dads. Y'all know, you know who I am. Do you know who I am?
Which end credit scene did you see when you watched it recently?
The credit I saw was I saw Deadpool.
He winks.
Yeah.
Wink.
No, he does a shh.
He does it. Oh, he does a shh
yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
And then there's the pre-credit, or there's the credit in credit scene, whatever, with Stryker walking, still just fucking walking after what's her face told her.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
one I watched
walk
was,
until your feet start bleeding and then keep walking.
Yeah, the one I watched had when Logan he's in Japan and he's taking a shot.
Really?
Drinking
Yeah.
over a
How many,
and
how
he
many
says
different end credit scenes were there?
There were a couple, and depending on when you saw it, you could get any one of them.
Oh,
in
no
the theaters.
shit.
Originally, I saw the Deadpool one.
So it was
but-
like Clue.
yeah, yeah.
I saw the Deadpool one. Well, now I'm going to have to watch the movie again.
Yeah, she says drinking to forget. He says, no, I'm drinking to remember. He's in, like, Japan.
That's another great line.
Magic bullet.
Oh, the magic bullet.
Blends
Yeah,
great food,
real
though.
stupid. Real stupid. My end credit was it already has too many, so I'm not gonna spare everyone.
Okay.
Because there's two.
You're not
too
gonna
many.
spare-
There's
There's two end credits too many.
Yeah.
So why add a third?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
all right.
yeah.
That's.
So that's
Origins.
Wolverine.
I guess we pretty much all agree. This movie kind
Good.
of.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I enjoyed the first
You
part.
had me nervous.
Yeah,
Huh?
same here.
Oh, this
because
was great.
because
I
when
just
I put
wanted to
that in
see
the
your
when I
reaction.
texted you guys, I was like, "This fucking movie," and you're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, don't tell me Mark likes this piece of shit."
No, I didn't say what.
Oh, whatever you said.
I said what because you wrote something before it. I think it was the Paranormal Activity comment.
Oh yeah, wanted to do, like, wishing that we were doing that.
Oh yeah,
tonight
yeah,
and next week.
yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, I just wanted to see what you guys would do. It was fucking awesome. You guys were like, "How?" And I'm like, "You don't know me, man."
Yeah, Mark over there
Right,
stirring the pot.
Oh, it was great.
Him and Sarah laughing.
I was like I said, the first half hour, first act, everything after the helicopter scene.
Yeah.
It's slowly.
It's
starting
riffable.
down.
At least it's
it
riffable.
is riffable.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the worst thing.
Have
I
the Riff
never
Tracks guys
seen.
done this one?
They
They
have
should.
not.
No?
They've done Spider-Man.
They've done a bunch of
really-
X-Men movies.
They've done the. Have they?
Yeah, they've done X-Men movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They
I know
may
that-
have done this one. Hold on, because
Check it out.
I have the app and the Riff Tracks app.
I know they
and
do
they've got
the
that,
Sam,
like,
the
catalog.
first Spider-Man movie, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. I've seen that. That's
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Funny.
If they've done Batman and Robin,
Yep.
that's fucking great. And the first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie they did as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and they didn't do Batman versus Superman, but a Riff Tracks Presents did it with some other people.
Ah, okay.
But it's not good unless it's them.
That's true.
Is the first
No,
one-
they've done X-Men 1, 2, and 3, and they've that's
Yeah,
it.
but is it them though, or is it the Presents where they
No, it's
have
the Riff Tracks.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to watch those.
They just dropped Cobra, by the way.
Oh, I know. Oh, yes, I know.
Stallone Cobra?
Stallone. They're gonna riff
Movie.
Cobra.
The original Beverly Hills
I'm
Cop.
going. My buddy Pritch and I are going. You're all welcome.
To see what?
If they do Riff Tracks live, Cobra.
Oh.
Absolutely.
All right,
It's a
then.
Samurai Cop. They do. All right. Hey, this was fun.
Yes.
What's making our geek flag fly, gentlemen?
Well, you're
Am I first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I got two here. I got two shows I'm very excited to tell you about. So here we go. On Netflix, I am watching the show Beef. Ali Wong and Stephen Ying. How do you say his name?
Young?
What?
Young.
Yeah, Glenn from...
Glenn from
Yeah,
The Walking
yeah.
Dead. Yin Yang Yung are two strangers both trapped in difficult lives when they almost get into an accident with one another, which leads to a huge road rage car chase. The two become bitter enemies that serves as a strange backdrop that connects them to each other's life. Hilarious at times, hard-hitting at others, this show is streaming on Netflix, has top performances from its stars, a great cast, and a great way of turning a road rage incident into a compelling story. It is a lot of fun. Half-hour episodes. Check them out.
I heard it was good.
It is great.
You
It's
might have
just-
brought it up
I-
about a month ago
I
or
brought
so
the
when you first
trailer up.
discovered it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
brought the trailer up. I said, this looks
I
pretty
like
interesting.
her. She's
Ali Wong
Yes.
is
She is
awesome.
hilarious.
I love her. She's,
All right,
she
I'll have
is
to check it out.
awesome in this show,
Yeah.
too. This show is great. And the other show, From. If you are not watching this show, folks, you need to, especially if you like, horror, sci-fi. This show is fucking incredible. Part Lost, part Stephen King, who happens to love this show, by the way. From is the story about people from all over the state who, while on their various road trips and outings, end up trapped in a strange town seemingly in the middle of nowhere, and where nightmarish monsters come out at night and feed on anyone who are not safe indoors. With a cast headed by Harold Perrineau and a truly creepy and terrifying story, From has plenty of gore and scares, but also some powerful storytelling. Season 1 is streaming on Prime, and Season 2 has just started on the MGM network and will no doubt be on Prime very soon. This show is awesome. It's got a great intro. The intro is a great cover of Que Sera Sera by the Pixies. I love the characters in it. I love the concept of how people keep stumbling into this town, and there have been people that have been there for years. Others have just arrived
I think
themselves.
I saw the first episode.
Yeah.
I think
Did
they
you?
gave like a teaser, whatever it was streaming on before.
Yeah, Prime.
No,
No,
it
it's
wasn't
really-
Prime because it was something
Oh
that
no, it was
Oh,
Paramount.
we were talking about
It
that.
was
Epics.
was it MGM? It used to
was
be
some-
Epics.
might have been Epic.
I remember
because you
it
brought
came
up
out
that
and I
thing.
was like,
Yeah.
I can't see it because I don't have
Yeah.
that. But I remember seeing the commercial for it and thinking it looked like it's him.
But
and,
somebody had
on a
what
road
you could
trip.
watch the first episode, and I watched it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Every
I
episode
after you
is a
said that, I
hook.
remember like the road and the town, and nobody could escape, and the monsters that came out at
And
night.
the mysteries that people have to solve. just the ensemble cast. I can't say enough good things about it. I would be surprised if you guys do not like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is just a great show.
I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Cool.
It's awesome.
It is powerful. Oh, it hits you a couple times.
Yeah.
And great film. Great way to wrap up the story. An awesome send off for James Gunn. So definitely see it. Muppets Mayhem dropped on Disney Plus.
Oh, did you watch it?
I've watched a few episodes so far. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Do they drop all the episodes at once, or are they doing it bit by bit?
I think they dropped them all at once, but I think I watched 2, and with the kids, and they liked it. I liked it. I love that they love it. They kind of always knew who they were because I have so many T-shirts of the Electric Mayhem.
Yeah,
because they're one of my favorite fictional bands.
Oh no! Right. If I told them once, I told them 100 times to put Spinal Tap first and Puppet Show last.
It's a morale builder, isn't it?
And it's fun. And the other thing is, the trailer for it's called A Haunting in Venice dropped. It's the next Poirot.
Oh yeah,
movie with Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, with Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, and it's based on an Agatha Christie story called Halloween Party, which was a really good one. It's got a good cast. Michelle Yeoh's in it, Tina Fey, Kenneth Branagh, obviously. And I reread the book. I had read the story a long time ago because I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. But I reread it a couple days ago after the trailer dropped, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's it.
So my buddy Paul was telling me about a show that his wife got him into on Apple Plus, back on Apple Plus. We were all on Apple Plus 2 weeks ago. Apparently I never left. But the show is called Silo. Have you heard of it?
Oh, I've seen the picture for it.
So it's got Rebecca Ferguson from The Greatest Showman.
Ferguson.
Yep. Ian Glenn, who was in Game of Thrones, and he was also
he was Bruce Wayne.
Bruce
in
Wayne.
Titans, yeah.
Yep. Tim Robbins is in it. Will Patton, Common, and David Oyelowo. Yeah,
Yes.
my boy. So anyway, it's based on the series of books Wool by Hugh Howey. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But the story takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth. Humanity clings to survival in the Silo, a subterranean city extending 144 stories beneath the surface. It's kind of like Snowpiercer in a way.
Okay.
Nice. Very class-centered. But Silo initially follows the story of Holston, played by Oyelowo.
No, you got it.
Okay.
Oyelowo. Yeah.
He's the Silo sheriff, and all residents of the Silo have been taught that the outside world is toxic and deadly, and anyone who expresses any desires to go outside is actually sent to clean the external cameras and sensors, because it's the only way that people can see what's going on outside. Even though the world outside is dead and deadly, they still like they want to see the sun and stuff. So they have all these like monitors and that look like windows, and the cameras get dirty. So when there's somebody that like dissents against like the rules of the quote unquote government, they are banished to the outside to clean the cameras, and they do. But then they die almost immediately after because the atmosphere is so toxic. 3 years before the story's events that on the show, Holston, the sheriff, his wife, who was played by Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones. I was just looking at a picture of her.
Yeah. Yep. She starts to think that something is going on, that what you're seeing on the monitors is not exactly what's true. She believes it's a huge conspiracy by the IT people. Who are in control of the cameras and sensors, and that what is actually out there is a lush green land, and everybody's meant to be like controlled and just meant to believe that it's a toxic world, and you have to do what we say and follow these rules, or you're going to be banished to the outside world, and it's the only way to keep the people down. And she starts to believe that there's a better place outside, and then people get wind of what she's doing, and she's banished to clean the cameras, and she dies. And then Oyelowo's character, the sheriff, he's all heartbroken. He wants to commit suicide. And so he starts to piece together that maybe she might have been right. 3 years later, it's still like bugging him, and I'm only a few episodes in, maybe 3 episodes I've seen.
So they're dying, but possibly not because of toxicity.
Or what they're seeing on the monitor is, like you see them clean the camera, and everybody like is watching them. Like, yes, they clean the camera, we can see clearly again, and then they watch the person just like die, like right in front of them. So everybody cheers, but then everybody goes, oh.
So why would you climb up and clean it?
They're forced to.
No, I know, but
if you're out there, you might as well clean the camera.
It's all about the greater good.
It'd be a short show if they didn't.
I think I saw a trailer for this or a commercial.
It's really interesting. I think you guys would dig it.
I like Rebecca Ferguson a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think you guys would dig it.
This sounds like one Sarah would like too.
Yeah. So it's on Apple Plus, and it's called The Silo.
Cool.
And we're liking it so far.
I got one similar to Derek. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy also. I thought it was phenomenal. It's my favorite series of the bunch. Guardians of the Galaxy has some of my favorite moments in Marvel films come from those movies. My top moments in Marvel films come from those movies, and James Gunn does them so well. And it's just a really great. He took this really great group of characters and made a really awesome movie out of it. And it very easily could have been shit.
Yeah, because these were characters nobody knew.
Yeah, which gives me a lot of hope for some of the things he's picked for
I know.
for DC. And then the only other thing is like I'm finally caught up on Ted Lasso. I think this might be the best TV show ever made.
I still have to see it.
It's fucking awesome. The show is awesome.
I love it too. Yeah.
It's so good. Again, there's more sports.
Yeah.
I want a little bit more
I know,
sports.
I know.
Want to, especially because the episodes become longer.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're gonna make 50-minute episodes, give me like a little more soccer.
Yeah.
Because I think it could be the greatest sports show ever made. But I need a little more sports.
Yeah.
But
it's all behind the scenes.
It's such a fucking good show. Like, I can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
I watch clips on my phone of scenes that I really, really like. It's just amazing. And the character of Ted Lasso, I think, is just this amazingly written, interesting character.
I think one of the best characters on that show is Brett Goldstein's the soccer player Roy Kent. Yeah. Oh my God! His character arc is brilliant.
He's
from
so good.
Washed up soccer player to nobody to being like a commentator and then becoming like the head coach.
The coach,
or the assistant coach.
Yeah, great. There's a lot of really awesome characters.
Yeah.
In the
Oh my
show.
God.
The other thing is I've been also watching Yellow Jackets. I'm on season 2.
Oh yeah,
that's
I gotta watch that.
They're like 5 or 6 episodes
good
in.
things about that show.
It's getting weirder and weirder. I don't know where they're going this season. It's very cool. It's Alive meets Lost meets fucking I don't know.
Every week I say I'm going to get that trial to Showtime so I can watch it, and every week I don't.
I mean, wait until I think there's only like 2 episodes left this second season. You might as well wait.
It's,
all right.
You know, it's not that much more expensive to add it.
Oh, I know.
I ended up adding it because it was only like an extra 10, I think 10 or 12 bucks.
Yeah.
Because I bought it for the year.
I've got like through my Amazon Prime account, I've got the Stars channel.
Yeah.
And I got that because my wife likes, and I do too, but we both like that show Outlander.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic show.
Mary loves that one.
And I keep forgetting that I have Stars until like Outlanders. And I'm like, so I'm paying for this fucking thing when I could just like cancel it, get Showtime in the meantime, and then go back and switch it up.
Stars,
I should probably do that.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't even think of it until I think of it. And
I
then
never
by then it's too late. I don't. I don't.
None of us do.
Cool.
That's why we are where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it for me.
That's it for
for me.
Excellent. Geek Flags. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
And that'll wrap it up for another episode of Three Geeky Dads. Tune in next week as we pick another 4th movie in our series of 4. Will it be hated by all of us, or will it be one we're divided on?
Same Wolverine time, same Wolverine channel.
You'll have to tune in to find out. In the meantime, if you'd like to check out our past series of 4 episodes, or just give us a listen because you love us so, Brian, where can they go to?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number
3.
gdpodcast.com. As Mark said, all of our past episodes can be found there, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you're not already a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Smash one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. Our email link is there if you would like to comment on the show, say how much you love Tito, or any other suggestions you have. If there are any other series of 4 movies you want us to cover, if we haven't covered already, or tell us your thoughts on X-Men Origins Wolverine even. Anything, just drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. You listen to us. We want to hear from you. Also, our links to our social media presences are there. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And what else? So our Ko-fi page is there. If you would like to donate to the show, please. And thank you. Anything you donate will be greatly appreciated. It helps keep the show going. And I think that is pretty much it, gentlemen. Did I miss anything? No, I got it all. All right.
Like
awesome.
A boss, like a
so,
pro.
as always, thank you, everybody out there, for listening.
Thank you, Brian. And thank you, boys. And thanks to everyone for listening. Until next time, for 3 Geeky Dads, I'm Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying keep watching the skies, because nothing moves the blob.
That was good.
Thank you. Whoops.
I feel like he had something else, and he changed it.
He changed it. I had something stupid, and I was like, oh, this is less stupid. Let me switch it up for something less stupid. Nothing moves the blob.
So, start with our least favorite, and then go to our top?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
we can
works.
do that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Save the best for last.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. Sally Struthers.
Ever since you moved the board, I always think we're pretending to podcast.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real.
It ends and we just leave it
Right.
and nothing comes of it.
I was trying to clean up the table a little bit. The light
out
is
there.
on, boys. The light is on.
Our show got canceled like months ago, Tito. We're
Yeah,
just
been
humoring you.
going. Yeah. Is that why I get it in text form? The new episode's out.
Here's the transcript.
You keep telling yourself.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
You ready? Oh, we need a dad joke.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
give us a
been a week.
superhero dad joke.
It's been a hot minute since we've done.
I'll do
episode.
one. I'll do a dad joke. Just feed it to me,
Yellow is so fat when she steps on Wolverine, even he can't heal himself.
That's mean. I don't want to insult anybody's mother.
Yeah, you gotta say, hey, Tito. Yeah, no. Your
Tito,
mother's so
your
fat.
mother's so fat. You have
Oh. I quit.
I like your family.
I quit.
I like all your families. If there's somebody podcasting that I hated, it would be a different story.
Oh, my kid hasn't spoken to anyone that much in fucking years.
Well, when you guys visited the
Yeah, he was talking about movies. I was like, when the fuck did you see that?
Uh-huh.
When you were locked away in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Christ.
People are comfortable talking.
He was like, oh, yeah, I've seen all. I was
Yeah.
like, what? You have?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, because I kept asking him questions.
That's true.
You know,
That's true, you
he
did.
probably answered me to shut me up. It's like, I got to answer this guy.
I went to Free Comic Book Day and I brought my kid.
Over at Rubber Chicken?
Yeah, I worked OT and I was like, ask Ronan if he wants to go. I'll pick him up on my way. I'm in Cranston, so I'm like, you just jump on 295. You know, if he doesn't want to go, I'll just drive straight there. He says yes. I come home and he won't stop fucking playing video games. I'm like, dude, you want to go? I just came to pick you up so we can go.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I want to go. I'm like, well, fucking shut that off. Come on.
Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of 3 Geeky Dads.
Wazowski.
Yeah, I know.
The show.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Here we go.
All right.
Why do superheroes always get the bad guys?
Why?
Because they're so capable.
All right. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay.
Topical?
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Say it to me, Derek.
Oh, I just did.
Well,
Like
do
you
it
mean
again.
it.
Say it like you mean it.
Say-
Once more with feeling.
Mark, why do Mark,
I
why did,
don't know.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Wait, yeah.
Mark, why do God? Mark, why do superheroes always get the bad guys?
I don't know, Derek. Why?
Well, because they're so capable.
Oh, that's awesome.
What a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hachi Machi.